The following is a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic Sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, Klein Electric, Catholic United Financial, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Bozen the Florist. Thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
And a very pleasant good evening and welcome to West Des Moines Valley Stadium as we get set for high school football week number 2 here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network on a very warm night, not as muggy, 86 degrees, south wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour, humidity at a very low 37%. So Mark Emmedill, Matt Maindring, John Chida, who's already on the field, getting in that nice breeze down on the field because on a warm night, but not as bad as we thought, but it's going to get hot this weekend. And Matt, welcome. And we're all ready for week 2 of high school football.
Isn't this great?
It
really is a beautiful night, and with the low humidity, it won't impact the players quite as much at that temperature. So we're really fortunate to have that and to be able to. It's a great night, and you see a lot of cars out here already, and the band's getting ready. And I tell you what, it should be a fun night of football.
It certainly should be, and a quick turnaround as we were. Dowling's first game was last Saturday night in a win over Cedar Rapids Kennedy in Cedar Rapids Saturday night. So quick turnaround. Valley played Southeast Polk here at this stadium last Friday, and the defending champ Southeast Polk beat Valley in the rematch in the state championship game in 5A by the score 24-18, ended up being the score. Looking right into that sun, all the Dowling fans will be on the east side of the stadium as they always are here when they play Valley. But very bright and warm night, John.
Yeah, it is, Mark. Last week the temperatures was great. I mean, it was dropped down in the mid-70s, and I think by the end of the game it was down in the 60s, and a nice wind. But, you know, it's not as hot as it seems when you're standing down here because you have a nice breeze, as you mentioned. So the one thing to look for tonight is a lot of cramping up with the heat and a little bit of humidity that we didn't have to deal with last week.
Yeah, that's true. Saturday was a little bit cooler than last Friday, but tonight it's jacking up. And, you know, John, when I talked to Coach Wilson, we're going to catch up with him, and our pregame show consists of, we're going to banter a little bit. We'll go to Coach Wilson, get some of our sponsors involved. But, John, he was very proud of the way his team, they take a lot of pride in. No one cramped up. I know we didn't see that out of Cedar Rapids Kennedy. They had numerous players cramping up late in the game, but he took a lot of pride in that. And I know you being an extension of the coaching staff with being the 8th grade coach, John, and conditioning is a big part of the preseason.
Yeah, it sure is. And when you're well-conditioned and you're prepared and hydration comes into play, it's a big part of it. And those are a lot of things that a lot of people don't think about, you know, as watching the game. But when you're involved in the game night activities and on the sideline, you want to make sure the kids are hydrated. They're doing things like that when they're not practicing or away from games as well. But also the conditioning is a huge factor. You got to be well-conditioned, especially early on in the season. And it gets a little bit easier as the season goes on because of the weather, and then you're used to those football conditioning. We always you have different types of conditioning. You have basketball conditioning, baseball, but then there's football conditioning.
That is so true. And, Matt, I think you can kind of attest to that back in your days of coaching high school football up in northwest Iowa. Did you have the track coaches on your staff? Because I think they understand that a lot. Yeah. Conditioning, cramping up, making sure that you get stretched out. The hamstring issue is always a problem, especially with the speedsters. But I'm sure you went through that too.
You do. And, you know, track and football go hand in hand with each other, kind of like wrestling and basketball as well. But that track coach and having that influence on your football staff is really important. And that's one of the great things about what Dowling Catholic does in their athletic program is all of the sports buy in to the conditioning and weight and the weights and everything else that they do, every sport that every kid is in. And for a school our size, we have so many multiple sport athletes that it does pay off, and it pays off on Friday nights. And, you know, the hydration starts all week long. And we see kids walking around school with a jug of water and everything else, and probably causes a few more bathroom passes than you normally would, but it keeps them going on a Friday night.
Well, it certainly does, and that's so important. I remember when you couldn't take water into class, and we had to get that amended. But I'm not going to get into those policies right now. We gave you enough
Mark.
Last Saturday, and I took a beating for that. And as John can attest, I kind of took a beating at work this morning with some things that were going around social media. I had no idea when that was going to happen, but it happened today. And thanks to Joe Hammond, the PA announcer for Iowa State football and men's basketball, and of course St. Pius parishioner, and he texted me this morning and said, "Hey, you're on Channel 5," and I said, "Great, this is going to be one of those days," and it was. So appreciate all the text messages and the recognition, but I just kind of do this for a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. I hope we have a lot of fun. And Matt, I hear people are home actually listen. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, people are listening. I tell you what, Mark, it is it is a pleasure to work with you, and you make this job easy. And for Johnny and I, we just kind of hang out and talk football, and you drive the bus, and it's been it's really is a compliment to you and your family, because it's a lot of time, and people don't understand the sacrifice of time that it takes to be at all the events, and for your family, that's a big give, and we thank them as well.
It's a labor of love.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Chido, hammer it on here. Let's get this out of the way. I know you got a few things. You got a lot of messages this morning, too.
Well, I just want to get that picture, the proper picture, submitted to Channel 5.
That was not, no, that did not, something got out on social media. I think it was just Johnny's social media.
I don't have social media.
Well, within your text group. And there's a picture out there, Matt, that.
Is there?
Yeah. And I don't hope that doesn't get out. I don't know where somebody found that, but
he's on the air just waving to a random person. It was priceless.
I was waving at the photographer, and that was Earl Holst. That was Mr. Maindering's partner riding down I-80 last Saturday, Johnny. So I was waving at Earl, and I didn't realize he was taking my picture.
Well, it just shows you can multitask. You can be on air and do other things at the same time.
Well, I appreciate that, and there's a lot of people behind the scenes that set this up. Dave Bingham, who were mic'd up tonight, by the way, or at least I'm mic'd up for the Friday Night Blitz, Johnny. So I know you're going to hustle home, turn on Channel 5, and watch the Friday Night Blitz. And Dave Bingham, he does a great job with his staff, and they're going to film this game and play it back tonight, and then we'll also see it next week. But a few people from, this Andy Pollock guy, he and Paul Yeager may have dropped a line or two to some certain people over at TV5, and the young lady, Miss Garcia over there, did a great job with it. So I'll just leave it at that. That's the trail that I figured out so far of how this got started.
Mark, sincerely, congratulations. It's well-deserved. And you were doing it back when I played and even before that. And it's just amazing what you've done and given to Dowling Catholic. And it's just a great place to be. And you've been a great part of it. And congratulations.
Well, thank you. Matt, he didn't tell you this, but Johnny, you caught a touchdown pass, but I didn't call Johnny's name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll come full disclosure. Didn't have him on the two deep, so guess what? We just thought it was something. Who did I call you, Johnny? What name did I use? Remember?
2 years before.
2 years before.
I think it was it Marcus Bumpus? I wore the same number, and it was either 2 or 3 years after that.
Yeah, that didn't go over well either.
I bet that did.
I've had a lot of mornings that didn't go over well, and you got these guys just
yeah.
But
picking it apart.
As we move on, this is Dowling Valley. This is what it should be about. This is why we're here. Great rivalry, and rankings. I'm still trying to figure this out. Valley lost to Southeast Polk, who was the defending champs. They're ranked number 1 last week. The Rams fall to number 2. Dowling moves up to 1. Haven't figured that out yet. Valley falls to number 6. Kennedy was number 6 last week. They move up to 5 after getting beat by Dowling. You figure all this out, like how they project rankings. Folks, the seedings at the end of the year are not done by rankings, but the media loves those rankings. I should say media, our sports writers, and they do a great job. They try to cover everything, but
well, the preseason is all about the unknown. So those
Correct.
preseason rankings, you never put much salt in them, as they don't know. You don't know which kids are not playing, if there's been changes in things, and it's. I can remember coming off of our state game that the next year we were ranked in the top 5, and I knew we were not a top 5 team because we had graduated everybody, and there was no way we were going to be in the top 10 at the end of the year, and it was. But that's
sure.
As you get more information, the rankings become more true the deeper you get into the season. So as coaches, you don't put much. It's more for everybody else to talk about.
Right.
As coaches, you really don't talk about
And there are so many different rankings out there. Des Moines Register has theirs. AP, which is what I like to use, they have theirs. I'm going to read theirs here in a moment. And Cedar Rapids Gazette has some rankings. I think in Eastern Iowa, Quad Cities do. But the AP rankings, as of this past Monday, has Dowling Catholic at number 1 in Class 5A, followed by Southeast Polk, Ankeny, Johnston, Waukee. That's your top 5. 6 is West Des Moines Valley, followed by Linn-Mar of Marion, Cedar Cedar Rapids Prairie, Bettendorf, Davenport West, and Iowa City West both tied for number 10. And receiving votes, Ankeny Centennial, Des Moines Roosevelt, and Waukee Northwest, all on Dowling's schedule. So that is the rankings as of this week.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting game taking place over the other side of town between Waukee and Northwest.
First time they've played.
Yeah, so that'll be a lot of fun. Be a lot of people there.
It certainly will. John, anything you want to add there? What's our conditions down there? I mean, we know we gave everyone our temperature. It was 85 degrees and 86 degrees and a south wind at 10 to 15, so that wind's got to be helping things.
Yeah, it is. And I think, after the first quarter when that sun goes down, it's going to be perfect. And you won't even realize that it was hotter than normal for this time of year.
Yeah, the shade is about halfway across the field. Coming towards you there, Johnny, very, very shortly.
Yes, indeed.
All right, we'll take a break here on Iowa Catholic Radio. This is the pregame show. We start at 6:15 tonight, and kickoff is right at 7. There's no preliminary game. Mark Amadeo, Matt Maindring, John Chido will return here on Iowa Catholic Radio as we resume our pregame show. Dowling Valley here at Valley Stadium, West Des Moines, Iowa, on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
And welcome back to Valley Stadium here in West Des Moines. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, John Chido, as we get set for Dowling Valley tonight here on Iowa Catholic Radio. We will kick off right at 7 o'clock, no preliminary game. And, Matt, a very warm night here at the Valley Stadium. We're going to deal with that, and we're going to talk a little bit of matchups. I know Johnny's going to talk about Dowling's offense against the Valley defense, and you're going to talk about Valley's offense against Dowling's defense, who, by the way, played very well last week. That front four for the Maroons didn't have a whole lot of experience. They gained a lot of experience. These are sophomores, 3 sophomores that start on Dowling's defensive line, Matt, that were going up against a varsity, and I mean junior and senior dominated offensive line of Cedar Rapids Kennedy, and had some big guy in there too, but very impressed with the front four, Ryan Bobo, Isaac Beaver, and his twin brother Mason, along with Keevy Fort. They all 4 got their first varsity starts.
They did, and I think the thing that was impressive as the night went on was how much gas they had in the tank at the end, because they were really putting more pressure on at the end of the game than they were in the middle, and that's due to the fact that they were able to go 8 deep. Will Ringwalski and Carter Smith and Owen Pins and Ian Middleton came in, and there was no letdown whatsoever in what was happening. And to be able to go 8 deep and keep those young men fresh up front, let those linebackers run to the football. And they did a really good job. Even though I don't believe they recorded a sack, there might have been one that was close, but they started to get more pressure when they needed to as the game progressed.
And the Dowling senior linebackers, which are the 2 returning starters of the defense, Dylan Manning and Matt Hanton were the 2 leading tacklers. Manning with 7.5 tackles, Hanton had 5, and along with the newcomer Zach Smith, who we see going both ways. He's also the punter for Dowling. Smith had 5.5 tackles. So the linebacking core stepped up. They got to be physical, and they got to plug the hole, whatever the defensive line can't do. And you mix that in with Nick Frericks and newcomer Lucas Scigliano, who also got his first start. Those are your linebacking and safeties.
Yeah, I was impressed with Smith, and Manning has really continued to evolve. And, Manhattan, just a hard-nosed kid. I really like watching him play the game, and he's a no-nonsense kid. But they were let to run to the football, and that's what you want that front four to do, is consume blockers, let those linebackers run.
Kenny James and Jake Kruger got their starts at left corner and right corner, along with Parker Pearson and Jake Scow. They backed them up, but there was some isolation. You call them the island. A couple of the corners got on an island with the outstanding wide receiver for Cedar Rapids Kennedy. Yeah. And, that they got some hand fighting, a penalty or two, but they learned from the best.
Yeah, it was, Jake Kruger, his first varsity start, and he had some ups and downs as the night went on, but he was where he needed to be, and I think he learned a lot. He grew up a lot on that first night, and it's just going to help him down the road with that much attention. And Kenny James, he's just a fire plug, and it'll be interesting, because Valley will probably be a little more balanced in who they're going to throw to, and so it'll put pressure on both sides as they go through the night.
You're listening to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Hamadale alongside Matt Mandering here in the press box. Down on the field here at Valley Stadium is John Chido. And, Johnny, we're going to get the Dowling offense against Valley's defense. And what a night it was. That's where the Maroons have a little bit more seniority, if you will. Kyle Rockers and Max Shelton on the Dowling offensive line kind of anchored the line last week. And then you throw in a Joe Fralak, who played a lot last year. Nate Egos, another starter back from last year. And Isaiah Seymour got the start at right tackle, and he's a big dude, 6'5", 305. And then you mix in Will Leifner and Charlie Darnell at tight end. Up front, set the stage for the Dowling skill positions, John.
Yeah, it sure did, Mark. And when Rashad Davis, the Dowling running back, was able to rush for 5 touchdowns last week, one was the kickoff return, but they were able to get the ground game working, and it's a tell of the offensive line, and you go by how they go. And if everything's clicking up front and they're creating holes and stuff like that, it makes it easier for Rashad to run through. And when you said it, Max Shelton, who played all last year, and Kyle Rakers, who is a 3-year starter now, that helps out tremendously. And then with Joe Fralak and Nate Egos, who got a lot of playing time last year, it's just with that experience. And then you had Isaiah Seymour, who fit in nicely for the first game. But with that experience up front, it makes a big difference on how you can execute offensively.
And I was impressed with Dante Cataldo. He's been in the program. This is his 3rd year on varsity. First start last Saturday night against Cedar Rapids Kennedy, and yet his 3 receivers he had a chance to throw to, Hank Brown, Curtis Horace, and Trey Wilson. And then we saw Jake Scow in there a little bit, Trig Troyer, Zach Smith, and Matt Kerner did not play. He is available tonight. He had quite a plethora of receivers, and I thought Dante Cataldo did a tremendous job checking down, taking what the defense gave him. It wasn't going to be a big passing night, but he passed just enough, and he went 11 out of 13 for 134 yards and no touchdowns and no interception. Did just enough to keep the chains moving, Johnny.
Yeah, he sure did, and he's execute that RP game, and he did a tremendous job last week reading the defense, and like you said, taking what the defense is giving you. And a lot of those reads were to give the ball to the tailback, and that's where a lot of the success came from for the ground game. And being able to manage that offense, not making mistakes, and not taking risks when you don't have to, and understanding the situation that you're in, it was a flawless game for the most part. Everybody's going to have mistakes, but I thought Dante did a tremendous job last week.
Yeah, we also should mention that Ian Middleton played fullback when Dowling brought that package in, and he and Jackson Miller shared that. So now, guys, we talked about Dowling. Now let's talk about the matchup tonight. And Matt, we'll start with the Valley offense against Dowling's defense. Caleb Jewell was the starting quarterback, but he didn't finish the game. Trevor Willett, the transfer from Oskaloosa, and a bigger quarterback, 6'4", 215, and a senior, along with Jewell, a senior. Those are the 2 quarterbacks. And Damon Head is their leading ball carrier. Darius Mason also back, so they got the dynamic duo at tailback. And Craycraft, McGrary, and Jaden Brown are the receivers, along with Crownover as a tight end. That's the Valley skills. What issues will the Dowling defense see against a very fine Valley team who was runner-up last year?
You're playing. You're preparing for 2 different quarterbacks. Which one are they going to rely on? Are they going to take the transfer and start to utilize him a little bit more? David Head's a really good running back, but Southeast Polk was able to neutralize him. And so he only had 61 yards or 46 yards last week against Southeast Polk, and Valley only rushed for 61 yards total. So, and I didn't see the part of the game when Willett came in, but if I don't think at 6'4", 215 he's a running threat either. So, that dynamics-wise, they have young receivers, and so for them it's just getting some more game situations and everything else. They threw the ball for about 129, I want to say 140 some yards is all, and so offensively they did not produce a whole lot. But this young defense is going to get tested of Dowling, and it's going to be, it's Valley Dowling. Yeah,
and up front, Valley had two returning linemen back. Braylon Jenkins, their right tackle, number 71. He goes about 300 at 6'4" and a senior. And their left guard, Derek Ellens, is back 6'2", 280. But Nolan Anderson, the left tackle, Matthew Booth, the center, and Ben Rickard got their first starts last week. And they were going against a pretty good defensive line for Southeast Polk.
Yeah, it's a little different tonight. Tonight, the sophomores playing on that defensive front are really going to have to grow up, and along with Keevy Ford. So it'll be that line. I think Valley's going to want to grind this thing as much as you can, run first, and then open up some passing lanes. And Damon Head's a threat to do that. And so I think Coach Swenson's really trying to get that established, as these two guys have gone against each other so much. Yeah. What else? What tricks you're going to have up your sleeve? The thing for Valley, though, Mark, is always the fullback / tight end out of the backfield. At some point, they're going to throw that play, and it's one of those plays that's so hard to defend.
88, A.J. Crownover is the guy you're referring to. He's their tight end, H-back, fullback, whatever you want to call him, but he will line up as a fullback along with tight end. Johnny, and finally the Dowling offense going against this Valley defense. Valley has 5 returning starters on defense. We mentioned they had 3 on offense, but of those 5, up front, the nose tackle, Ramez Naba, he's got 100 pounds on Shelton right over Dowling center, so that's interesting. Castle is their linebacker, an outstanding linebacker. Gage Olson, Isaiah Pinks, the corners are back, and Andrew Price, the free safety, is back. That is some of their veterans, and it'll be interesting to see how Dowling's offense adjusts to what Valley is in tonight.
Yeah, and you said it with Naba. That's the person that they're going to have to slow down and find different ways to slow him down, because he's tough to handle. He's aggressive. He's downfield. He's a tough-nosed football player. So they're going to have to keep an eye on him and have creative ways on how to block him or attack him in certain ways. And Valley runs a 4-2 defense with a sandbacker that they'll move around. And I wouldn't be surprised if you'll see a 3-man front at certain times in certain situations tonight. They showed that a little bit last year, not so much against Southeast Polk, but when it's Dowling Valley, do a lot of different things, and that'd be one of them, that they come out with that three-person front instead of the 4-person front and move their linebackers around. So it's just being able to adjust to what they're doing, and a lot of times reading the different defenses, because they're going to disguise a lot of different coverages too. So with Cataldo being quarterback, he's going to have to recognize those things, and you got to do it on the fly. But I think they'll be well prepared, and Valley's going to be tough notes. It's going to be their defense. I think is their heart of their team this year. I think they're strong defensively, so it's going to be interesting to see how Dowling's offense reacts to that.
All right, gentlemen, appreciate the update there. Appreciate your thoughts on the pregame show as we continue with head coach Tom Wilson. As we take a break, our thanks to Ashworth Vision Clinic Construction Professionals along with Dental Associates. Our thanks to Catholic Tuition Organization, the folks at Mercy One, Catholic United Financial, Klein Electric, and Skeffton's Formalware are our supporters of Dowling Catholic football. Our 47th year broadcasting Dowling Catholic football. Thank you, folks, for tuning in, and tell those supporters that you heard the game on Iowa Catholic Radio. Along with Matt Maindring and John Chido, I'm Mark Amadale. We'll return with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic. We'll preview tonight's game from the coach's perspective coming up on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. CTOIowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org.
Catholic United Financial, proud to support Iowa Catholic Radio. Catholic United, member-owned, with financial services to protect and connect Catholic families, parishes, schools, and communities. Catholic United, helping Catholics in Iowa and the upper Midwest build secure financial futures for 145 years. Learn more about the Catholic United story. Call local member advisor Duke McCarter at 515-380-0153 or go to iowa.catholicunitedfinancial.org.
Support for programming comes from Klein Electric, a local family-oriented electrical contractor, a 100% employee-owned company with branches across the Midwest to provide comprehensive electrical services. Klein Electric is able to help with any residential and commercial project. Learn more at kleinelectric.com.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Amadale now joined by head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic before tonight's Dowling Valley game here at Valley Stadium. Coach, thank you for taking time to join us this evening.
No problem. Thanks, Mark.
Well, Coach, tonight you take on the Valley Tigers, the arch rival, a team that I think everybody's got. It's been a good week of practice because they get focused for both teams. But before we get into Dowling Valley, let's talk about and recap last week's game. Actually, it wasn't too far away. Last Saturday night, you went to Cedar Rapids and won over Cedar Rapids Kennedy 38-21, a nice top 10 team to start off with, and a nice win on the road for your group.
Really thought the kids handled things very well. Felt like we were in control of the game without. Then in the second half, you look up and we're only up by 3, but we responded with another good drive and were able to stop them and then tack another one on and then we held them at the end of the fourth with about 3 minutes left and really just ran out the clock from there. But thought our kids handled the crazy work week last week very well. As I mentioned last week, we practiced at 5:30 in the morning, basically all of last week, and then also playing on a Saturday and then driving 2 hours to Cedar Rapids to play a good Kennedy team. So really happy with our kids and happy to get out of there with a convincing win.
Yeah, and Coach, very efficient. We'll start on the offensive side. Your team was 4 for 4 in possessions in the first half, and that included 3 touchdowns and a field goal. In the second half, I believe you went like 3 out of 4 with your possession, but didn't convert. The punter only came out once, and that was in your first possession in the second half, which you mentioned on the postgame show a little bit, that first series when you had the ball to start the second half. But very efficient. You guys scored. Dowling scored in 6 out of the 7 possessions you had offensively in the game.
Yeah, I felt very good about that. To be honest with you, going in the game, really didn't expect Rashad to have the game that he had for the simple reason that they have 8 guys in the box, an awful lot. We thought we would have to throw, and you saw it early. We were mixing in our passing game, and but then Rashad, gets away every once in a while, and they may have 8 in the box, but he's still making people miss. And really thought our offensive line did a really good job, and Dante in his really first start of this year, and he was very efficient in the passing game, and I think fans that were there could see him move around a little bit, which that's what he brings to the table.
Well, no question, and of course that's totally new group out there. Your offensive line is the experienced one, but you had some new receivers. You mentioned Dante at quarterback with his first start, but I thought the offensive line paved the way, and with the system you have offensively, your quarterback made decisions whether to run or pass, and that's why Rashad Davis had 4 touchdowns and a kickoff return for a 5th touchdown.
Well, he did, and I can't say enough about that kickoff return unit because Rashad didn't get touched on that kickoff return. But really, the offensive line did a good job. Before the game, I mentioned really the leadership of Rockers and Max Shelton, and that was on full display. I thought Will Leifker came in and as our starting tight end, and last year he was kind of an H-back, fullback type player when he was healthy, but thought he did fairly well as a tight end, blocking, only got him, the ball a time or two, but hopefully that continues to grow. But then Agos and Freylac and Isaiah Seymour getting his first start, thought he played pretty well as well. So when the offensive line can control things, that's how you score out of 6 out of 7 possessions.
Visiting with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic before tonight's game, Dowling and Valley here at Dowling Stadium. And Coach, defensively, that was where the question mark was. I think you had two experienced starters back. Whole defensive line graduated. No depth there that returned with experience. And, boy, did they ever step up. Very impressed. I think Dylan Manning, who's one of your starters as a sophomore last year, led your team in tackles with 7.5. Zach Smith had 5.5 tackles. And then Matt Hatton, the starting catcher in baseball, had 5 tackles from his linebacker spot. That kind of led the defense. But, boy, did they give the offense time to perform. And they really stood up, especially during some long drives there, that 12-play, 75-yard drive that Kennedy had to start the second half on their first possession was very impressive by them, but they stood up the rest of the way.
Yeah, they did some very good things. To be honest with you, we gave up too many passing yards. I think Kennedy had a lot to do with that, but number 4 was a handful, and I thought their quarterback played well. But we really held up very well against the run. We were getting pressure to the quarterback, just only got to him once, but we were getting pressure there, and we're going to have to continue to evolve as that defense moves forward.
And, Coach, finally, before we go to break, your thoughts on some of the kids that maybe we missed last week, the guys maybe in the trenches that stood out after you broke down game film after the game.
Well, Carter Smith had the sack, and he was very active. I think Owen Pins continues to get better, and the Beaver twins inside, they were growing up before our eyes, which was fantastic to see. And Keevy Ford got his first start in that ball game as well. But you get kids like Will Ringwelski and Ian Middleton also helping us on that defensive line, and that's the way it's going to be as we continue on. So, really defensively felt really good about that. And, on the offensive side, I had mentioned Seymour and his first start in Leifker, and, a kid that made a lot of plays and had a huge block on the kickoff return was Ian Middleton. So kids did a nice job, and hopefully we can just continue to get better.
And one follow-up to that, Coach, you mentioned on the defense, that defensive line was graduated last year, inexperienced. But you trusted almost 8 guys to rotate through. You had two different shifts, if you will, like from hockey, 2 shifts of 4 in the down linemen, and you were able to trust them throughout the game. You and defensive coordinator Adam Jack were able to, and they did perform.
They did, and that's the way it's going to be. We feel like we have a strength in our numbers, and some of those guys are young, and I didn't mention Bobo, who also got his first start, but. And he had a TFL, and really all of them I thought did a very good job. There's a couple of times where you could see the big boy running them down the field, and lesson learned, and then it didn't happen again. So really kids did a good job, and they're going to have to continue to grow if we're going to get to be the team that we want to be defensively.
Visit with Tom Wilson here on the pregame show. We'll return after these messages to talk more about tonight's matchup, Dowling Valley here at Valley Stadium. This is Mark Amadeo on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Alive in Christ with Eucharistic Amazement, September 17th through the 19th at St. Francis of Assisi in West Des Moines. Each evening will include a holy hour at 6 p.m., followed by a talk from Sister Joseph Mary. Learn more at iowacatholicradio.com.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel. Online anytime at iowacatholicradio.com.
Bring the Eucharistic revival to your parish with Iowa Catholic Radio's Eucharistic Miracles of the World banner display. The work of future Saint Blessed Carlo Acutis, this beautiful display will educate and inspire. Learn more at iowacatholicradio.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, this is John Nguyen from the Diocese of Des Moines. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Amadeo continuing my conversation with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic High School as Dowling takes on Valley tonight here at Valley Stadium. If you're arriving to the game, Dowling fans will be on the east side of Valley Stadium. And, Coach, you're taking on the Valley Tigers, a team that, ended your season last year in the semifinals. it's a rivalry, whether it's in the playoffs or regular season. And tonight it's a regular season. And hey, best of luck. Talk about the matchup tonight with Dowling Valley. I know it's been a short week for you because you had the game Saturday night, so kind of a quick turnaround. But I'm sure you and your coaching staff are prepared.
It should be a very good game. Obviously, Valley played Southeast Polk and last week, and it was a good football game, and that's a tough opener. And they had their successes moving the ball and did some things to stop them at Southeast Polk at times. But honestly, it looks somewhat like a typical Valley football team to me, that they're big up front on the offensive side, always have a tight end weapon. Really good skill on the outside, and Head, their running back, I think is a really good player. So they have plenty of weapons in order to put points on the board. And then defensively, I think that they're extremely solid. A lot of skill there. That secondary is very athletic. They'll play a lot of man principles back there, and we're going to have to beat them one-on-one. But tough linebackers, active defensive linemen. Naba, their nose guard, is 320 pounds, and when your center is 100 pounds smaller than that, that's a little bit room for some concern. But I think they're a really good team. They're another top 10 team, if not a top 5 type team, and we'll certainly have our hands full.
Well, with the matchup, Dowling Valley tonight, for long this series goes, anything can happen. Last year you had a 5-game winning streak and beat Valley during the regular season, and Valley snapped that 5-game winning streak in the series in the playoffs. But you throw all that out, what are the concerns other than the mismatch between center and nose tackle? But what are the things that your Dowling defense are going up against this Valley offense, who are, they had 2 quarterbacks, maybe 3 battling in camp, and now I think they settled on 1. But you could see some different looks in the backfield out of Valley. How's that matchup for your defense?
Well, first off, you have to stop the run. Head is a really good back. He hurt us last year in the Dome. They run a lot of counter power schemes at us. Darius Mason will come in and give him a breather, who's, he's 215 pounds and runs hard. And obviously that offensive line has a lot to do with that. But really their skill on the outside with Craig Kraft and McGregory and also Jaden Brown, who's a sophomore, those guys can run. And so that's a concern for us. Those matchups will be, difficult for us. But again, if you do things at the line of scrimmage and force them into situations they don't want to be in, I think that's a plus for us.
And Coach, offensively for the Dowling offense, taking on always a very fine defensively coached team. I know Willie is their defensive coordinator there at Valley, and he does a great job. And last year, you look at the second half of the Dowling Valley semifinal game, and Maroon scored on you guys got yourself into a situation where you had a short field and scored in the second half, and that was about it. And they made some adjustments, so I don't know how that's going to carry over. But Valley defensively always got some good linebackers and maybe a good corner. And you mentioned their nose guard.
Yeah, the guys that you mentioned, McGregory is playing in the secondary. He's playing both ways. I think he's a very good player. Andrew Price and Gage Olson are their safeties. It's not the first time that we've seen them, and they're only juniors. They played quite a bit a year ago. Castle is one of their inside linebackers. We saw a lot of him a year ago. And I mentioned, their defensive line with Naba and Daisy, experienced players there. So, it's going to be typical Dowling Catholic offense. I mean, we're going to try to run the ball. Some of the things that they did to us in the second half last year, as you mentioned, they made some great adjustments, and we really didn't respond to it very well. We're a little bit different team, just different style than what we were a year ago, just based on quarterback play and personnel and things like that. So it'll be interesting. It's usually a chess match. I did it with Randy Rebarger for many, many years, and now I'm doing it with Willie Thornton, and that's part of it. There's a lot of respect there, and obviously I've known Willie for an awful lot of years, and I think he does a great job. And so we'll have, great challenges on that side as well.
That's comments from head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic before tonight's game between Dowling and Valley. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandring, John Chido will take a break. We'll come back with the kickoff, but up next we will have our pregame prayer tonight with Father Reed Flood, and of course the Dr. Dan Ryan, the president of Dowling Catholic, will have his opening statement. So stay tuned. We'll have kickoff from Valley Stadium. We're kicking off right at 7 o'clock tonight as there's no preliminary game. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandring, John Chido, Week 2, set the kickoff after this break here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Catholic United Financial, proud to support Iowa Catholic Radio. Catholic United, member-owned, with financial services to protect and connect Catholic families, parishes, schools, and communities. Catholic United, helping Catholics in Iowa and the upper Midwest build secure financial futures for 145 years. Learn more about the Catholic United story. Call local member advisor Duke McCarter at 515-380-0153 or go to iowa.catholicunitedfinancial.org.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School. Welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School football. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting football, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons.
Hello, my name is Father Reed Flood. Let us pray together for the coaches, players, and trainers for this athletic competition this evening. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask that you bless all those involved in this athletic competition this evening. We ask that you keep them safe and that they show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Saint Sebastian, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Welcome back to Valley Stadium here in West Des Moines as we get set for Dowling and Valley tonight, as both teams are now on the field as we get set for kickoff on a very warm night. And welcome back to the stadium. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandry, John Chido, and a very warm night, as we mentioned, as the game time temperature 86 degrees with the south wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And both teams and both benches are now in the shade, and that's a big positive, Matt, as we get closer to kickoff.
Yeah, the temperature's going to be perfect once we get going, and I don't think it's going to be a factor in the game. The wind is blowing a little bit, but again, not enough to make it a factor to change the game too much. Maybe a little bit, but not. I mean, it's directly with the field, so one team's going to be going directly into it, but it's not blowing that hard.
I want to thank Roman Wilcom and, of course, his dad and Matt, and also Brady Grimm. And also a big shout out to Greg Richwine. Does a great job of keeping Iowa Catholic Radio on the air. Does a lot of duties with the transmitters and such. So all hats off to Greg as we have the coin toss going on now. Let's go down to John Chido on the field. And Johnny, what a crowd. I know the Dowling side is filled because we're looking at that as we speak. They're into the sun a little bit. But what's the Valley side look like? Some room over here if you're coming in late?
Yeah, there's some room up top, but the bottom bleachers are completely packed, and the middle top is completely packed. But to the left of you, Mark, and to the right of you at the ends there, you got a little bit of room. But people are still coming in.
Well, what's the mood on the sideline, John? You have the privilege of being on the Dowling sideline tonight, and that's across from us on the east side here at Valley Stadium. What's the electricity like? Similar to last week against Kennedy, or are they amp it up a notch?
Oh, it's amped up a notch, and that's expected with Dowling and Valley. You have such a great rivalry, and this game means so much to the community and the kids, and it's very competitive, and they're all friends, So a lot of kids know each other from both sides, and so it's all business. You got that little pop in your step today. You can tell that, and a little bit more enthusiasm and things like that.
Yeah, that's true. Well, keep us abreast. John Chido on the Dowling sideline tonight. I want to thank our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio, as they include Catholic United Financial, Klein Electric, Skeffington's Formal Wear, along with the Catholic Tuition Organization, Mercy One, Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals and Dental Associates, and, of course, when the Maroons get in the red zone, it's presented by Bozen the Florist. Say more with Bozen. Matt Maindring, you were keeping an eye on that. Well, you were keeping an eye on the coin toss, weren't you? Who won? Who deferred? What happened?
Valley's taking the ball. So the Maroons will kick off first and get that defense tested right away and see if they can get a 3-and-out and see how the night progresses.
So Valley will have the wind at their back. They will go left to right. They're wearing they didn't come out with their red uniforms like they did last week against Southeast Polk. They're in their home black uniforms, white numbers, red trim and white helmets. Dowling in all white with the maroon decal, D, on their helmets and the maroon numbers. Dowling will go right to left, and Maroons will kick off to start the contest. As we mentioned, that'll be Andrew Schumacher, who went 5 for 5 in extra points, 1 for 1 in field goals last week against Cedar Rapids Kennedy. Dowling 1-0 and Valley 0-1. Tigers losing here last Friday night to Southeast Polk, and Dowling beating Kennedy on Saturday. Run away, high end over end kick, and it is into the end zone, touchback. There'll be no return by Isaiah Pinks, and the Valley Tigers, Matt Maindring, will have a first down at their own 20-yard line. So we're going to see that Valley offense against Dowling's defense.
Yeah, we are. So it's going to be, just what you would draw up. Schumacher got just enough of it, that little bit of wind behind him to get it across the goal line. And you take out the threat of a run back on the kickoff, and here we go. That big offensive line from Valley runs onto the field, and this is where it's all going to go, right down those trenches. Test those sophomores early.
Up front for Dowling sophomores, Ryan Bobo, Isaac, and Mason Beaver, the twins, and Keevy Ford. Those are the front four for Dowling. Linebackers, Hanton, Scigliano, Manning, and Smid. Corners are James and Kruger, and the safety is Frericks. And a handoff on first down, and getting the ball and getting slammed down right away is Damon Head. He is the first carry of the ball game. They try to run left, and there's a lot of people in white jerseys, Matt, 2 or 3 yards deep. They're going to be a 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12 for the Tigers.
Keevy Fort came off the left edge there untouched and chased it down. It's one of those plays where they leave him unblocked on the backside and hope that they can outrun him. But Keevy Fort chased it down for the 2-yard loss. Great play by him, and they got him going backwards right away.
Yeah, they sure do. The Valley offensive line, they are big. We'll introduce them here in a moment as the Tigers now with 2 tight ends, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, and he goes in motion left to right. Here's the snap. Quarterback wants to throw, will run it, slips a couple defenders, is tripped up as he crosses the 21 up to the 22-yard line. And getting the start at quarterback is Caleb Jewell, number 5 for the Valley Tigers. He gets it up to about the 22-yard line, so he gets 4 of those yards back.
He does, and good play out there defensively. They kept everything in front of him, and Zach Smid came up and made the stop from his linebacker position as he spread out wide on that. They tried to spread the defense out, and the Maroons reacted in the way that Coach Jack would expect.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Valley. It's 3rd down and 9 for the Tigers from their own 22-yard line. Back to throw. Jewell throws into traffic. Pass is incomplete. Broken up nicely by Dowling's Jacob Kruger, and he had a couple other white shirts in the vicinity that helped him out.
Yeah, they're going to go test Jacob and see if Jaden McGregory can get a step on him, whatever. But Jake came in and broke that curl route up right away, knocked the ball down. Great play by him, and Dowling gets a chance to get the football.
So into punt for Valley is their quarterback, and that is Caleb Jewell. He had 6 punts, averaged 32.5 yards last week against Southeast Polk. He'll punt from his own 10-yard line. Dowling has twin safeties back deep, and that is Trey Wilson. As we get a good snap, kind of a knuckleball punt, and spiral reception as Wilson has it at the Valley 48-yard line is where Dowling fair caught the ball with Trey Wilson.
I think he was coached into that fair catch after last week there in Mark.
I heard there was a conversation between father and son. I mean player and head coach, the Wilson family.
Yeah.
But Maroons with the first down at the Valley 48. And let's go down to John Chido. Good job by the Dowling defense to start off, especially getting that sack in the backfield on a running play, Johnny.
Yeah, I was very impressed with that defensive line, being able to spill everything to the linebackers, which that's what you need to do, and cut off those running lanes.
So Maroons with the first down at the 48. They're going to spread Valley out. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. Dante Cataldo at quarterback. Here drops back to pass, throws it out. It's complete on the near sideline right in front of the Valley bench at the Trey Wilson with the catch. And they're going to spot him out at the 41. A gain of 7, it looks like.
When Dowling goes empty, it was something that frustrated them last year, and how Valley covered them. And so it's interesting that Coach Wilson came out right away empty, which you wouldn't expect.
Maroons will move the tight end to the left. 3 receivers to the right. Dowling going right to left towards the north end zone. 1 back in the backfield. And that's Rashad Davis back to throw. Scatali fires it out. It's caught. Slot receiver first down at the 20-yard line of Valley. Play goes for 21 yards, and they were really biting on the fake to Rashad Davis out of the backfield, and the Maroons found a big-time receiver there.
Yeah, Hank Brown is right up the seam, and he is wide open. To your point, Mark, play action with Rashad Davis, all eyes go to him, and Hank Brown runs that seam route right behind the linebackers, and Cataldo hit him in stride.
Dowling with the first down at the Valley 20. No score. Just underway here at Valley Stadium. Dowling Valley. Here's a handoff for Rashad Davis. Left side has some room. He broke through. Score. Inside the 10-5. Touchdown, Rashad Davis. He went to the far side of the field when he was split out and just slipped the tackle by the linebacker and scored. Davis from 20 yards out, and Dowling strikes first with 9:58 left in the first quarter, leading 6-0.
You couldn't hope for anything better than what just happened right there on that series for Dowling Catholic as they moved the ball down the field, and Rashad gets one touchdown. And but boy, he had a lot of room to run.
So now Dowling with the extra point. Andrew Schumacher, the 5'9 senior. The hold by Jepson, and the kick is up, and it is good. Long snapper is Wyatt Jones, and Dowling leads 7-0 over Valley. 9:58 to go first quarter. We'll return to Valley Stadium after this 1-minute break here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Tuesday, September 19th at the Tea Room in downtown Des Moines, the Basilica Knights of Columbus invite all men to attend CORE, an evening of fellowship that aims to form and strengthen Catholic men in faith and virtue as missionary disciples. National speaker Jessica Navin, the spiritual formation manager for Focus, will provide a look at the interior life of lay Catholics, including principles of spiritual warfare for husbands and fathers. Doors open at 7:30 p.m. Learn more at iowacatholicradio.com. A message brought to you by the Basilica Knights of Columbus and the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, this is Tegan Kavan from Dowling Catholic. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium. Kickoff by Dowling. The Maroons lead it 7-0 on a 3-play, 48-yard drive. We'll go down to John Chido following the kickoff, and here is Schumacher, a high end-over-end kick, and he boots it deeper into the end zone. There'll be no return. Touchback, 1st and 10 Valley from their own 20-yard line. Dowling 7-0 over the Valley Tigers. Just under 10 minutes to play first quarter, and Johnny, 2 quick passes that were complete by Dante Cataldo to Trey Wilson and to Hank Brown, and then Rashad Davis, the only carry. A 3-play, 48-yard drive for the Maroons. Very efficient.
Yeah, and it started with field position. You got half the field to work with, and that's huge, especially with your opening series. You're not stuck deep in your territory. And then when you get matchups that you're looking for, that you scouted in that first play call sheet, that's great for coaches and players when things go so well. And Dowling was able to capitalize on some of these matchups.
They certainly were. Thank you, Johnny, for that report from the Dowling sideline. Packed house here at Valley Stadium on a warm night, 86 degrees. The temperature, the handoff on first down is quarterback Caleb Jewell for the Valley Tigers hands it off, and they hand it off to Damon Head, and he gets across the 20 up to about the 21-yard line. Tough going there, gain of 1.
Tough sledding on that left side of the Dowling defense there is, the Beaver twins, Isaac and Mason, hold their ground, and Bobo. And, they try to run to the short side of the field right there, and no room for them behind that big offensive line.
Quarterback for the Valley Tigers is Caleb Jewell, 6'1", 180-pound senior. He's backed up by a senior. Now they'll split 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Back to throw Jewell. Looks over the middle, fires out, and he threw into traffic. Incomplete. The number 80, the Jaden Brown, the tight end, was over there, but he had 2 or 3 defenders around him, and he threw right into coverage again.
Yeah, and we got the quarterback, I believe, down on the field there. There is a flag on the play. I didn't see. I was watching the ball on that play. He overthrew the receiver, number 88, good coverage. And after the play, behind the play, something happened. Maybe Johnny has it.
That was Crownover. That was the intended receiver. The tight end, 6'4", 230, and a senior, not Brown for Valley. I misspoke there. But, yeah, I didn't see that. And, Johnny, you got anything from – you're on the Dowling sideline, so you don't have the best angle. But.
Well, of course, I'm at the opposite end.
Yeah, you are.
Where everybody stands. But legal man downfield, I didn't see anything after the fact. Of course, I had a bad angle.
Well, the penalty flag.
Or anything like that.
Yeah, the flag's in the backfield, right where the young man is down. So I don't know if we may have a late hit on Dowling or not. The Maroons did get one sack last week against Cedar Rapids Kennedy, and that was an outstanding quarterback they played against, and he was tough to get to. But they are really giving a lot of attention to the Valley quarterback, Caleb Jewell, we just mentioned, 6'1" senior, and he was hit after the play or during the play. We're not quite sure. Dave Rittman's crew is the officials tonight, so we'll get an explanation. Hopefully the officials' mic is working, and they're going to help him off. And he has looks like a leg injury on his left side, and he's being carried off by the athletic training staff.
And couldn't tell what happened after the play, and we'll see where we go from here.
See if we can get the referee's mic going here.
Yeah, personal foul.
They called it on Keevy Ford.
Okay. Didn't hear the number because his mic was breaking up, but personal foul on Dowling, so that'll be a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, and it'll be first down Valley at their own 36-yard line by the time they walk this off. Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Catholic Tuition Organization, Mercy One, and Dental Associates. Alongside Matt Maindring, I'm Mark Amadale, along with John Chido on the Dowling sideline as they get the chains all set. And the young man, Jewell, being looked at. And the backup quarterback now coming in for the Valley Tigers, and that is Trevor Willett. He played the fourth quarter, 6'4" senior, 215 pounds, a little bit bigger. Handoff goes to the tailback, and that's Damon Head, and he gets the best yardage so far tonight for Valley. Gets across the 40 up to the 43-yard line for a gain of 7.
Little inside trap play for Head, and he springs through there and gets into the Dowling secondary, and good gain for them as they move the ball forward here.
Valley offensive line, Nolan Anderson, 6'5", 275 senior. He is the left tackle. Left guard is returning starter from last year, Derek Ellens. Ellens, a 6'2", 280-pound junior. Matthew Booth is the senior center at 6', 235. Ben Rickert, the right guard, 250 and a senior. And back to throw is Willett. Fires it out, and the pass is incomplete. And a little short pass to the left side, didn't get open. And the right tackle for Valley, returning starter from last year, Bradelin Jenkins. Jenkins, a 6'4", 290-pound senior. And the tight end we mentioned, Crownover, who was the intended receiver on the play where the starting quarterback got hurt. That was Jewell, but Willett incomplete there.
He went out to the flats there, Dave. They slipped Damon Head out into the flats, and Damon tripped up on his own feet there a little bit and went down, and the ball sailed over his head. So now you have 3rd and short here for the Tigers.
Valley with 3 receivers left, tight end on the right. Here's the snap. Willett, a lateral pass. It's caught out of the backfield, and that is Darius Mason in there, and he's got the first down.
I think they're going to mark him just a little bit short, Mark. I think it's going to be 1 yard short where his knee went down.
Knee went down at the 45, needed to get to the 46. That's where he landed, but you're right. They put it back. 4th and 1 in decision time for the Valley Tigers and Gary Swenson. He's going to bring in Zach Schemper, the backup tight end, so they're going to go with they're going to go big here with 2 tight ends, and they're going to go for it from their own 45-yard line.
Get those big guys in there toe-to-toe.
Crowd coming to life here. Quarterback sneak by the big backup quarterback, Trevor Willett, and looks like he may have.
It's going to be a close spot, but I think they're going to give it to him.
They're going to stop the clock and measure. Dowling thinks they held him. Valley thinks they got the first down. They're going to call it first down Valley.
Yeah. Ooh. But where he put the ball down at, yeah, they might have. Anyway.
46-yard line, needed a yard.
We talk about this a lot, Mark. They don't come out and measure very often anymore.
Not on
the
turf.
Lines are straight.
Not on turf. You're right. So it's a first down Valley. Dowling leading 7-0. 7.5 minutes to go. First quarter from Valley Stadium. This is Valley's second offensive possession of the night. And now here's Willett. And he gives it on a little end around inside action, and he turns the corner and running back up to midfield. Gain of 4 to bring up 2nd and 6 for Valley at midfield as they are on the crisp of crossing the Dowling territory.
Yeah, a little split end reverse there for Valley, trying to mix things up, and caught a little crease off right tackle on the right side there, and able to squeeze up in there for 4 yards.
Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you by Mercy One, along with Catholic Tuition Organization, and of course Skeffington's Formal Wear.
And I believe that was, again, Zach Smith on the stop as he was flown across on that play.
So Willett under center, 2 receivers to the right, 2 tight ends, and 1 back for Valley. Big formation. Handoff goes to the tailback, and that's back in there, Damon Head. He's just trying to find a seam, goes over right guard and tackle, and gets it down to the 47-yard line, gain of 3 for the Tigers, and that's the first time Valley is in Dowling territory.
They got a big push there from that front line, and they go so big. 275, 280, 235, 250, and 290 off that right side behind Reichert and Jenkins. They were able to pound that ball up in there. And Dowling did a good job of containing it and making the pile so that the linebackers could clean it up.
All right, Willett at quarterback. Transfer from Oskaloosa. He's got 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, and he moves the wide receiver Brown in motion. Toss play right side. This is Mason trying to get outside, and he's out of bounds at the 45. May have gained 2 yards, and it'll bring up.
Well, I think they're going to give that to him. He got to the edge and was able to squeeze up the sideline, and they're going to give him the extra yard there.
Down to the 43, they sure did.
Down.
He ran out of bounds right in front of us where the Valley team is lined up, and just wondering where he went out of bounds. They spot him out at the 43 of Dowling, gain of 4 for Mason. And they have that dynamic duo, Darius Mason, a 5'11", 220-pound junior, and Damon Head, a 5'11", 185-pound senior. Head last week had 10 carries, 46 yards. Mason last week had 8 carries for 17 yards. They both scored a touchdown for the Tigers. First down, Valley at the Dowling 43. And now penalty flags down as they hand it off to Mason.
I think they called timeout.
And timeout called on the field. We'll take a 1-minute break with 5:43 to go here in the first quarter. Dowling 7, Valley nothing on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Catholic United Financial, proud to support Iowa Catholic Radio. Catholic United, member-owned, with financial services to protect and connect Catholic families, parishes, schools, and communities. Catholic United, helping Catholics in Iowa and the upper Midwest build secure financial futures for 145 years. Learn more about the Catholic United story. Call local member advisor Duke McCarger at 515-380-0153 or go to iowa.catholicunitedfinancial.org.
Support for programming comes from Klein Electric, a local family-oriented electrical contractor, a 100% employee-owned company with branches across the Midwest to provide comprehensive electrical services. Klein Electric is able to help with any residential and commercial project. Learn more at kleinelectric.com.
Got a question about the faith? Ask a priest. Email your question to contact@iowacatholicradio.com, then tune in to the Catholic Morning Show Thursdays at 7:15 to hear the answer. Ask a priest. Thursdays only on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium. Willett back to throw for Valley. He passes over the middle, and the pass is dropped by Jaden McGregory. The 185-pound sophomore, transfer from Des Moines North, wearing number 7. He was on a crossing route underneath the linebacker's mat, incomplete, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10 Valley as the line of scrimmage is the Dowling 43.
That pass came out kind of hot, but I mean, it was one McGregor. I'm sure he catches that 9 times out of 10 in practice, and doing that drag route across the middle and incomplete and 2nd and long. And this is the first time in this drive that they've been 2nd and long, so we'll see what Coach Joensen dials up here.
3 receivers to the right for Valley as they go left to right, south to north to south here at Valley Stadium. In the shade, 1 receiver to the left. Willett, the backup quarterback, in there for the injury to Jewell. Back to throw he goes, fires it near side. Pass is caught and out of bounds goes Noah Craycraft, who caught the pass right at the Dowling 37.
Little comeback route and on the left edge inside the numbers there, and Jake Kruger keeping everything in front of him, so they get the 6-yard gain. And 6-7 yard gain.
Move it down to the 37-yard line, and we'll bring up 3rd and 6.
The timing there between Willett and his receivers has been pretty good here, so he must have been getting a decent amount of reps in practice.
Yes, he must have, and obviously want to get some good throws during warm-ups as he's in there in the second series. 2 receivers left, and now the handoff goes to the tailback. That's Damon Head, goes over to the left side and makes his way down to the 28-yard line, and that is near a Valley first down.
Valley Tigers, this is kind of exactly what they want to do, is they want to sit there and consume some clock with this drive and get 3-4 yards at a pop, and right there they get the first down on a play with Head, and a good play in there, finishing it up. Matt Hanton comes up on the tackle on that play.
So this will bring up 1st and 10 for Valley. 5 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Dowling leading 7-0. Valley now marching towards the red zone as they're at the Dowling 32. Tigers now put a man in motion. That is their big tight end, Crownover, right to left. Willett back to throw. Has time, stays in the pocket. Now wants to run and is hit and drop and falls forward down to near the 30-yard line. Let's see where they put his knee down. I'm going to say he's back at the line of scrimmage is where he was down, so no gain on the play and avoided the sack there.
Yeah, good coverage downfield, and that time it was Ian Middleton chased him down. Ian came off the right edge and looped around and came in from behind and chased Willett down at the line of scrimmage.
This is the 13th play of the Valley drive that started just under 10 minutes. They've had the ball almost 6 minutes here, Matt. Started at their own 20-yard line. So it's 2nd and 10, Valley from the Dowling 32. 2 receivers left, 2 tight ends in for Valley, and 1 back in the backfield. Willett now has a rush. He's going to be sacked in the backfield. Dowling called the blitz, and the linebacker came in, and he is celebrating there, Matt.
Yeah, that was Luca Scigliano. Came through on the blitz and came pretty much untouched. Willett didn't have a chance, and that's a big loss here to give him a 3rd and long situation. So that makes it 3rd and 17. Great play by Luca. Coach Jack dialed up the blitz, and it got home.
So a loss of 7 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 17 for Valley. They'll go with 3 receivers to the left. Their tight end is on the right. Willett calling signals, back to throw, now rolls to his right, has time, looking. He's going to have to dump it off. Now he's going to be sacked out of bounds back at the Dowling 43. He just kept running with the football, and the Maroons kept chasing him, and Dylan Manning gets the sack out of bounds right in front of head coach Gary Swenson.
He did, and great coverage downfield. Willett had all time to throw the football. He rolled out to the right. The offensive line had done its job, and Dylan Manning playing in kind of a spy position, waiting for someone to leak out of the backfield, and he came up and finished Willett off, and big play for the Maroons to get the punt.
We're going to have a lot to talk about with Johnny here when we change possession. That was the 14th play of the drive, and on the 15th play, they punt. And about a 7-minute drive for Valley ends in a punt, and their punter is their quarterback, or was their quarterback, and now fair catch signal for by Dowling as it'll bounce right at the 15 and take a Dowling bounce up to the 20 and out of bounds. So their punter is now their kicker, Rico Alavarenga, comes in as a backup punter and punts it downfield. So Dowling leading 7-0. Maroons will have a first down right around the 20-yard line. John Chido, a lot to dissect, but more importantly, back-to-back sacks by the Maroon defense. Scigliano with the sack and Manning with the sack before the punt.
Yeah, Coach Jack dialed up a double blitz, double Mike Will blitz, and that was both Manning and Scigliano coming through both their gaps on each side of the ball. And with the defensive line getting penetration, the quarterback had nowhere to go. And then nice play by Dylan Manning there to force that 4th and long. And you said 15 play of the drive.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Yeah.
Right? When you have that many plays?
Yeah, that many plays. Back to throw is Cataldo. Now a quarterback draw. Dante across the 25. Still on his feet and up to about the 27 or 8 yard line. So he picks up 8 yards on first down. And Cataldo with 3 receivers to the right really split the Valley defense. And, of course, they're anticipating Rashad Davis to get a lot of carries as he did last week when he had 5 touchdowns, 4 of them rushing.
Yeah, it was a called quarterback draw all the way, and the blocking up front was outstanding and gave Dante a good alley to run through for the 8-yard gain.
2nd and 2 for the Maroons. 2 receivers right, tight end on the left, and 1 back in the backfield with Cataldo, and that's Rashad Davis. He gets the handoff, slips through the gap, the A gap right over the nose guard. He's got the first down, across the 35 to the 36, a pickup of 8 And I'll tell you what, Rashad, as we mentioned in the postgame show last week talking to him, he waited for his lineman, and then he made his move.
He did. He was just like he was dancing through, like in those old football practice fields where you had the ropes. And
yes.
You had to run through the ropes. That's exactly what Rashad was doing right there. He was dancing around bodies and found a little crease and got through it right there on that left side behind Rockers and behind Joe Freilich.
First down, Dowling at their own 35. Dowling leads at 7-0. 2:20 remaining first quarter. Handoff Rashad Davis right over center. Still on his feet, pushing forward, and finally stood up at about the 42-yard line. He'll pick up 7 yards. And again, Max Shelton over center. He gives up 100 pounds to the nose tackle for Valley, and that's Ramaz Naba. And 6'2", 320 for Naba, and Shelton at 220. And the Maroons get 7 yards going right at him.
Yeah, they do. That was a little misdirection play there. They bring Ian Middleton off of that right flanker, off the right slot, and then he comes in and sets a trap and let Rashad slide up behind it.
2nd and 3, Dowling. The Maroons have 3 receivers right, 2 tight ends. Back to throw, Cataldo being chased. He fires as he throws the pass. It's caught at the 40-yard line. Outstretched arms and a completion for the Maroons. Unbelievable. And I think that might have been Kerner or Hank Brown. We'll see.
That was Kerner. Kerner, he is a tall, lanky receiver, and Cataldo put it up there for him. And on only the spot where Kerner could go get it, just a great throw by Cataldo and a great play by Kerner, because Cataldo was under duress. He was getting hit just as he released the football.
So a 22-yard reception by Kerner in his first catch of the season. Matthew, a 6'1", 190-pound senior, gives Dowling a first down at the Valley 36. Minute and a half to go, first quarter. Dowling going into the 10 to 15 mile an hour wind out of the north. Back to throw is Cataldo, fires it out. The pass is caught, first down, and that's Hank Brown inside the 15. And they're going to spot him down right about the 14-yard line. A well-placed ball by Dante Cataldo that time. The Dowling quarterback had time.
He did, and they came out in trips left, and Valley showed man coverage. And, Coach, you heard him talk in the pregame show about they see a lot of man. Well, they showed man. They left one guy, and one guy let Hank go, and Cataldo read it right away because Hank was the middle of the 3, and right in that seam route wide open, the safety didn't have time to get over the top.
First down, Dowling at the Valley 14. Back-to-back 22-yard receptions by the Dowling receivers, Kerner and Brown. Here's Cataldo out of the shotgun. Back to throw, fakes the handoff. He's going to go down.
And the ball
got loose, and I think Valley's got it. Dave Rittman, the referee, signals Valley football at the 17-yard line. So the Maroons cough it up on the fumble. As Cataldo was going down, the ball came loose.
Yeah, he gets hit just as he's going to release out of the pocket running, and gets hit. And Cole Weibel, number 50 for the Tigers, comes up with the football.
So Valley with the first down at their own 12-yard line. First turnover of the season for Dowling Catholic, and it comes at 58 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And the Maroons leading 7-0. The Valley offense will come out. And John Chido, tough break there for the Maroon offense as they were marching from their own 20 down to the Valley 15.
Yeah, it sure is a tough break, especially when you get it ball in the red zone and everything's clicking. And Cataldo felt pressure on both sides. And once that ball comes up, the defensive lineman did a nice job of chopping down at the ball and breaking it loose.
And Valley on first down. Handoff goes to Damon Head around left tackle. Breaks free into the secondary, and he's near a first down. They're going to call it second and short as he crossed the 25 to the 26-yard line, as the line of scrimmage was a 17.
Yeah, they're starting to spread the Dowling defense out a little bit, and the one thing that Coach Joensen is doing tonight is he is running out and in. So he'll try to run sweep, then he'll run a trap inside, run sweep, run a trap inside, and that time they went to the edge and was able to get Head loose.
All right, McGrary is split out wide to the left as Valley goes left to right. Final 15 seconds of the first quarter. Handoff goes to the tailback, and he's got the first down. That's Damon Head on the handoff from the backup quarterback by the Valley Tigers, Trevor Willett, number 10.
That was a good job by Kenny James coming up from his corner position and getting the ankle of Damon Head to prevent a bigger run, and gets the stop.
And that'll be the final play of the first quarter as we come to the end of the first quarter here at Valley Stadium. The matchup of West Des Moines. Dowling leading 7-0 over Valley alongside Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale, John Chido along tonight, and we'll take a break and come back here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Would you like to highlight a birthday, anniversary, or other special occasion? You can do that by underwriting a day of broadcasting on Iowa Catholic Radio. For a monthly gift of $300 or more, your message will be heard on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network throughout the day of your choosing. It's the perfect way to honor your memories and milestones while supporting your favorite radio station. Dates go quickly, so reserve yours now. Call 515-223-1150 or email deaconmark@iowacatholicradio.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Iowa Catholic Radio needs you, whether it's assisting with events, answering the phone, being a parish ambassador, or simply a commitment to pray. Iowa Catholic Radio depends on you to help connect listeners to Christ. Email contact@iowacatholicradio.com to get involved.
Back here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, beautiful night. Game time temperature 86 degrees, humidity at 37%, and a south wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So Valley with the wind at their back here in this second quarter. Dowling 7, Valley nothing. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandring, John Chido. We'll try to get down to Johnny here momentarily as Valley's offense on the field. And they have a 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line as the Tigers take over from their own 17 off the Cataldo sack and fumble as they got to the Dowling quarterback. And now Willett, handoff goes to Mason, left side, and penalty flag down. Mason across the 30 up to about the 33-yard line. He'll gain 4, but a flag down.
He shows a little more balance and quickness in there and exploded through there, and it was a good tackle. I believe that was, again, Zach Smid coming up and making that tackle. But there is a flag down where you think it would be holding.
Got a veteran crew here. Dave Rittman and his crew are the top officials here in the state, holding against a microphone breaking up, but it's against Valley, so it'll be a holding call from the spot of the hold. That'll be 10 yards. Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Skeffington's Formal Wear, Klein Electric, and Catholic United Financial. Pushes the ball back inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line, Matt. So, Valley hasn't come up with big plays. They have big play receivers. They're missing their best receiver, Zay Robinson, out with the year with a torn labrum, just had surgery the other day, and he'll miss 6 months of athletics. So here's a little screen pass.
That's a live football.
And they're going to say incomplete.
Oh.
Dave Rittman said he didn't have possession of the football long enough. And if you were on the sidelines, you might be arguing that. Right?
I would. Well, I would be saying a backwards pass. I mean, that pass looked like a lateral pass, and so that's why it really looked like a live football. And that's what the Dowling staff was saying, too, because it's a flat pass coming out of the backfield, and the running back loops back a little bit, but the line judge is right on it, so he could see it, that the pass must have been enough flat.
Correct.
With the line of scrimmage.
It was enough lateral, forwards.
Not backwards.
Yeah. So it's 2nd and 20 now for Valley, back on their own 19-yard line. Fisher ruled incomplete. Mason looked like he caught it, then dropped it, and didn't have possession, says the referee. Good call. There's a pass. It's intercepted by the Maroons. Stepping in front of the play is a Dowling defender, and the Maroons got an interception or not? Are they going to call it that? They're going to call it incomplete.
Yeah, Kenny James had it right on the had that ball trapped right on the ground and
jumped the route.
He jumped the route. The ball was a little late coming out, and Kenny was able to jump into it and just short.
Incomplete. Stops the clock with 11:30 left to go. Second quarter, Dowling leading 7-0.
Last week Kenny ran off after making a play, and it was a third down play. I think he just ran all the way to the sidelines, and it came back on now.
He thought it was 4th down. It's 3rd and 20, Valley at their own 19. And now the handoff goes to the tailback. Head back in there, gets across the 30. And he may have picked up the first down. He did across
No. That's the first.
Check that. That's the first down. He's got to get up to the 39, and he'll be shy to bring up 4th down for Valley at the own 31-yard line. Nice gain that time to 12 yards by Head, but Valley will have to punt. It'll bring up 4th down and 8. And this is the young man who is doing the punting right now, because the quarterback was the punter for Valley, and he's hurt. Caleb Jewell went out in the second series. So Rico Alvarenga who does all the place kicking and kickoffs, is the backup punter. Now he's thrusting the action. Here's a snap, and he gets it away. High, short kick. It'll bounce right around midfield. Takes a valley bounce inside the 40, inside the 30, out of bounds at the Dowling 28, and that's where the Maroons will take over 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line with 10:38 remaining here in the second quarter. Dowling with the lead 7-0. Let's go down the Dowling sideline. We haven't heard from him too much tonight. Let's hear from him now. John Chido, take it away. Get us caught up.
Mark, it was almost a first down call, but you had the wrong marker. I'd say your eyesight after 42 years is a little shaky, but
here we go.
You still got it. You still got it.
I stayed away from the 8th grade football coach and staff.
All right.
And I stayed away from the uniforms, but you're going to bring that out here eventually, both of you.
I didn't say anything.
I know you didn't, Matt. First down, Dowling from their own 28. They go left to right. They'll be going into the wind here as it's out of the south, 10-15. Cataldo back throw, fires out, has a man open. It's caught. Nice catch that time, and that is Hank Brown with it. And he's got some room trying to get outside. He may have got the first down. He did up to the 40-yard line. I think that was Brown. He and Kerner line up in the same spot.
Yeah, I believe that was Brown as well. And he caught the ball and put a move on and was able to shake free, and good adjustment. Yards after catch right there for him as he accelerated for the first down.
Well, gain of 12, but the yards after catch was more like maybe 5 to 6 more, as you mentioned. So first down, Dowling from their own 40. Two receivers to the right, tight ends on the right for Dowling, and pistol formation. Now in motion goes Rashad Davis. They'll hand it off to, you call it a fullback. Can you call it a fullback? He's up the middle and following the center, Shelton. He gets up to the 45.
They actually put Ian Middleton in motion there, and Rashad Davis was the up back, and he's the one that got the little handoff inside.
You're exactly right. Middleton lined up as the tailback, and Rashad up the gut. And he gets it up to the 44. They'll spot his knee down. Gain of 4. Maroons will take what they give him. 2nd and 6 Dowling. 9.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. 7-0 Dowling. Maroons scoring on their first possession. They go 3 plays, 48 yards after a short punt. And Rashad Davis, a 20-yard run for a touchdown. Extra point by Schumacher. Now they're Dowling with the ball, and they're trying to get outside as the flanker and getting a first down out of bounds. The ball is loose, but they say he was down.
That's Rashad Davis. Yeah. So they lined up in that trips formation and in that man-to-man coverage, and then they leaked the running back out, and it's just basically a long handoff to Rashad out there, and he had no right of making a first down right there, and he was able to shake free and squirt forward for a few yards.
7-yard gain for Rashad. Gets it down to the Valley 49. First down Dowling. 9:15 to go for second quarter. 7-0 Maroons. Here's a snap. Cataldo looks right. Now scampers to his left. Looking. He's going to run with it. Out of bounds he goes. Takes the safe route as he had the linebacker for Valley on his tail and runs it out of bounds for a gain of 2 down to the Tiger 47.
Good decision there on just eating that one and taking a couple yards forward. And the line did a good job of collapsing the side, but Dante was left with the short side of the field, so he didn't have much room to work there and did the right thing in not forcing it down the field.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 8, Dowling. As the Maroons have the ball at the Valley 47. This time 3 receivers split out right for the Maroons. Tight end on the left. Cataldo play action, fires over the middle. He's got a man wide open and an over-the-shoulder catch. Incomplete as he had his man open but couldn't come up with the football.
That was Jake Scow. And he was so open, but the ball floated a little bit and went over his other shoulder, and it's such a hard adjustment for the receiver because it went, he's looking over his left shoulder for the football, and the ball trailed back to his right, and either the receiver should have ran a little more of a post and not have run it to the corner quite as much, or if that's what Dante was expecting, but he was open.
Yeah, he switched shoulders and incomplete. Back to throw Cataldo on 3rd and 8, fires it over the middle again. He's looking for a man. He overthrew him, incomplete. Intended receiver that time was Hank Brown, and he was wide open. And, of course, Cataldo's throwing into that 10 to 15 mile an hour wind. and can have a little bit of a gust, but nonetheless, back-to-back incompletions brings up 4th and 8 for Dowling. And a reminder to our listeners at halftime, as we're radio only tonight, we're going to catch up with the Director of Enrollment Management. The Director of Enrollment, Matt, you know her, Alicia Hilligus, will join us at halftime to talk about enrollment at Dowling.
Yeah, she's joined our staff here in the last couple of years, and Alicia Hilligus does a really good job for us and is a ball of fire.
All right, 4th down for the Maroons, and Dowling will punt, and that'll be Zach Schmidt. Had one punt last week for 38 yards. Good snap, good kick, gets it away. And Valley fair catch signal at the 13-yard line. That's where the Tigers will start. 1st and 10 from their own 13 with 8:48 remaining, second quarter, and Dowling leading 7-0. A low-scoring Dowling Valley game. Let's go down the Dowling sideline. Across the field we go to John Chido.
Yeah, I think Dante Catella wants a couple of those back. Put a little bit of air on that last one. It's more of a drill shot and to get Hank there because he's got receivers open. And the first one, the receiver just took a little bit of an inside angle there at the end, and the ball was a little bit thrown outside. And you just want to get that connection. I think they'll get it once they settle down. But, man, you have these nice drives going. You just can't convert when you need to be able to put points on the board.
All right, Valley with a first down. Trevor Willett at quarterback. And the handoff goes to his tailback and hit and drop. Line of scrimmage was a 13, and it'll remain the 13-yard line as I gave it to either, I think it was Head that time, Damon Head. And no gain on the play.
No room on that left side with Kiwi Fort there, and Dowling up 7-0 right now. They're kind of looking at it going, we've left two drives on the field right now. The turnover and then the lost opportunities there with those two balls.
Second,
last drive.
Yeah, 2nd and 10. Valley, three receivers to the left, one to the right. Valley going right to left, south to north. Willett, little screen pass underneath. They got Head, and he's trying to find his wall of blockers, and he runs into him right about the 20-yard line. They're going to spot him at the 19 for a gain of 6. So well-developed play, but well covered by Dowling. The screen passes can sometimes loosen up that the speedsters, and you get a wall of blockers in front of them, you're in trouble.
Right. I agree, Mark. You're exactly right. It was set up great, and the Dowling secondary rallied to the football in a hurry to limit that from a big play. That could have been a big play.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 4 for Valley. Tigers have 2 timeouts remaining. Dowling has 3 as we have 7:30 left to go. First half, 7-0 Dowling, and now Willett fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, hit as he throws it, and he overthrows everybody, incomplete, dangerous pass. Closest receiver was the Dowling safety, Nick Frericks, and Willett takes a shot, and he bounces up. It'll bring up 4th and 4 for the Tigers.
All right, Dylan Manning just was the spy in that situation right there. He's in his own coverage, and he's just floating through that middle of that secondary, sees Willett release, and just shot like an arrow right at him and hit him just as he released the ball.
So Rico Alvarenga will come in to punt. The 5'9", 160-pound senior stands back at his own 5-yard line. Twin safeties back for Dowling Catholic. That being Matthew Kerner and Trey Wilson. They stand about midfield. Good snap. Alvarenga gets it away. A high end-over-end kick. And that'll send Kerner back to the 40 of Dowling. And he has the ball stripped out of his hands, and the Tigers got it at the 45. Kerner had to return left. Right before he was hit, he had the ball stripped from him, and the second Dowling turnover has happened, and the Tigers have it at the Dowling 42.
Yeah, Valley's able to flip the field here on the turnover, and big momentum shift. And again, Dowling only up 7-0, and it just doesn't feel like that. And the mistakes that Dowling didn't have last week, you're starting to see some of them this week as they struggle in this first half.
The ball will be on the 42-yard line. Valley with the first down. Tough break there. Nice job by the Dowling defense, John Chido, and now they got to go back out there.
Yeah, defense for Dowling's been on the field for a long time. I mean, especially after that 15th drive. Now you've had 2 crucial fumbles, and it's allowing Valley to stick around and now flip the field position, Mark. Valley's been starting with their back to their own end zone the last couple of times. Now they're able to get on the other side of the 50 in their favor, and let's see what they can do here.
False start on Valley as penalty will set him back in to 5 yards back to the 48-yard line, make that the 47. But the Tigers now with 2 timeouts trying to take advantage of the second Dowling turnover here, Matt.
Yeah, and, in the Dowling defense, outside of that 15-yard drive, have done a really good job of holding Valley at bay. And here, Valley helped them out with a motion penalty to make 1st and 15.
Tigers with one back offense, and now Willett gets fumbles the snap, picks it up, and hands it off the tailback, and he gets it down to the Dowling 45, maybe the 44 for a gain of 3. It'll bring up 2nd down and long for the Tigers, who are already facing a 1st and 15 off the penalty.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was Damon Head on that one or if it was Darius Mason in on this series.
Yeah, they all alternate back sometimes during the series. So
that was Damon Head on that run. And he had a nice cut inside, but the Dowling defense did not give up many.
Gain of 3. 2nd and 12 Valley. 6.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Dowling with a 7-0 lead, but Valley across midfield. Now Willett back to throw, fires out. It's caught by the big tight end Crownover. He's got the first down inside the Dowling 30, all the way down the Maroon 27-yard line.
He got released up the middle. No one picked him up at all, and Crownover wide open in that seam, and Willett hit him right in stride, and a big gain for him as Matt Hanton took him down.
So a 16-yard reception, first down, Valley. And they'll send out 2 receivers. Gregory at the top of the formation, 3 receivers right, tight end to the left, 1 back in the backfield. Willett, the handoff goes to Head, and he gets across the 20, breaks a tackle inside the 20, and he puts his head down and gets a first down at the Dowling 16-yard line, or close to a first down. Let's see.
Yeah, you're seeing a little bit of wear in this defense now. They've been out there, as Johnny said, quite a bit in this first half. And right now, the Valley offensive line, all that weight with Anderson 275, Ellens 280, Booth 235, and Rickert 250, Jenkins 290, it's taken its toll.
Gregory and Craycraft split out wide right for Valley as they go right to left towards the north end zone. 1 back in the backfield, that's Mason. He gets the handoff, and he's hit and wrapped up, and he breaks the tackle. Still on his feet. He may go if he can get out of the backfield, and he can't. Now wrestled down at the 20, so he'll lose 4. But Mason broke several tackles. And I'll tell you what, how strong that young man is. Mason, a 5'11", 220-pound junior, almost had wide open field, but it converged by the Dowling defense, fortunately.
He kept his feet. He's a load. The thing about him is, he's 5'11", but he's 220. And with that lower center of gravity, he is just a load to bring down. You got to get both arms on him. Keevy Ford had his hands on him, but a good job of the backside defense staying home and making a play.
All right, Jaden Brown and Noah Craycraft split out wide right for Valley. Pistol formation. That's quarterback is Trevor Willett. He wears number 10, the backup. And now he fumbles the snap, and he's going to fall on the ball back at the Dowling 29-yard line. So a loss of 10. And that'll bring up 3rd and 23 for the Tigers at the Dowling 29.
And I don't know how good Valley's kicker is here, because that goes into the decision-making of Coach Joensen right now. Do you go for, you try to get 10 yards, get yourself in position for a 37-yard field goal, or you're going to gamble and throw it down the field?
Valley breaks the huddle. 4:14 to go here in the second quarter. Tigers have 2 timeouts remaining. Dowling 3. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Valley with a 3rd and 22 from the Dowling 29. Willett at quarterback. Trevor back to throw. Looks right. Fires it downfield, and the pass is tipped and incomplete as he tried to hit Jaden Brown on a quick slant from the right side and did not hook up with him.
No, and exactly what I kind of thought would happen is they tried to do that seam route again up the middle and put them in field goal position if he was going to catch it, because the coverage was there. But 4th and a bunch. And right now, you're thinking as a coach, you throw it down the field, it gets intercepted. It's better than a punt if you don't have the field goal unit. A punt doesn't do you any good right here.
That's true. We'll keep it here as the Valley is this. Oh, they're going to go for it. I thought Coach Joensen would call timeout and bring the field goal unit on, or just think about it. He still may. 4th down from the Dowling 29, 4th and 22. Back to throw is Willett. Under duress, now avoids the tackle. Still on his feet. Hit, and ball is loose at the 33, and Dowling's got it. They stripped the football from Willett. He got hit, and the Maroons recover it. And a big play that time for Dowling Catholic, and Carter Smith on the recovery.
Yeah, Carter was there to make the play, and it's one of those plays you get excited because it is a turnover, but it really didn't gain an incomplete pass, kept him at the line of scrimmage. As soon as you saw Willett take off, you knew he wasn't going to run to get to the first down marker, but a great play by the defense, great stand by the defense. Now it's the offensive's turn to get something done.
So it'll be a first down for Dowling. We'll go down to John Scheidel here. Reminder, we'll go to Johnny at halftime. He'll have comments from head coach Tom Wilson. And it's a 1st and 10, Dowling from their own 32-yard line. 3:49 remaining here in the second quarter. Maroons lead at 7-0. Pistol formation. Maroons with one receiver. That's Hank Brown in motion, slot left. Here's the snap. Rashad Davis gets the handoff. Makes a move at the 35. Still on his feet. And Valley trying to wrap him up, and they finally do at the 35. Good effort by Rashad. Great defense that time as Valley stood him up and then waited for help. And the Valley defense makes a stop after a 3-yard gain on Rashad Davis.
Yeah, they did a good job of rallying to the football right there as Rashad was out there trying to find another little seam and a little window to run through. And Dowling not really picking up the pace too much yet.
Rockers, Freylac, Shelton, Agos, and Seymour, the front offensive line for Dowling. Tight end is Leifgerd. Quarterback is Dante Cataldo. He has Wilson in motion. Trego's in motion, slot left. Fires the ball out, and it is incomplete. Wilson was the intended receiver, and he just couldn't hook up with Dante that time. Couldn't handle the pass, and it'll bring up 3rd and 7 for the Maroons at their own 35.
That ball came out hot. Cataldo saw him right away and threw it on the line, and Trey just got his hands turned around on that thing and couldn't bring it in.
3 minutes to play here in the first half. Dowling now getting different personnel in. They'll bring in Curtis Horace, number 3, at the bottom of the field here to our near side. 2 tight ends and 3 receivers left. Back to throw Cataldo. Whirls to his left. Fires, and he overthrows his intended receiver, incomplete, right at the Dowling 45. Would have been good enough for a first down, but he overthrew him. 4th and 7 for the Maroons with under 3 minutes to play.
Right now, the Valley defense has got to be pretty happy with where they're at, and especially only being down 7 points. 7-0 right now. They're going to get the ball back here with a chance to drive down the field and put some points on the board before half.
Well, Schmidt in the punt for Dowling. And back deep for the Tigers is Isaiah Pinks, number 2, and Jaden McGregory, the transfer from Des Moines North, number 7. They stand right around their own 33-yard line. As Schmidt awaiting the snap from Wyatt Jones. Good snap. Schmidt gets it away. Low line drive. Spirals inside the 25 and picked up there by the Tigers. And that's Isaiah Pinks. Near side return. He's finally knocked out of bounds at the 43 of Valley. And that's where the Tigers will have it after the punt by the Maroons with 2:44 remaining in the first half. Dowling leading 7-0. Tigers with the first down right around their own 44-yard line. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline, and that is where John Chido is at. Johnny?
Well, I think the storyline so far this first half is being able to capitalize and score points when you need to. Both sides, had some turnovers. And then, we talked about Dowling's defense being on the field for quite a while. That kind of, you lose the rhythm of your offense, and you kind of I'm kind of seeing that. I don't know about you guys, that Dowling has kind of lost their rhythm and flow of their offense a little bit.
We've got a timeout on the field called by Dowling. So we'll keep it here with 2:44 remaining here in the second quarter. Dowling leading 7-0. Mark Amadale alongside Matt Mandering, John Chido. And tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic, along with Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, and Mercy One. And gentlemen, Johnny, we'll start with you. Dowling defense, you mentioned, been out there quite a bit. Maroons have turned the ball over twice tonight. That's very uncharacteristic. The fumble by Cataldo, the fumble by Kerner, and Valley has yet to capitalize. But the downside is the Dowling defense, who has played well, has been out there quite a bit.
Yeah, they have. And the more plays you run as an offense, and Valley has sure run a lot of them, you kind of start feeling your rhythm and finding spots and running lanes and stuff like that. And Valley's kind of went from the start of the game, everything in tight a little bit. And then Matt mentioned it, they're spreading things out. You talked about the screen passes and getting those running backs in space, and it's created a lot of good success for them. And then they turn the a little bit. So,
Yeah, Johnny, you're cutting out in your mic there, just an FYI. So we'll resume action here as Valley's offense back on the field. That timeout was by Dowling. So both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Valley from their own 45. The handoff goes to Head. Damon around the left side, gets across and breaks a tackle across midfield, and he's down at the Dowling 48 for a gain of 7.
Did a nice run on the left side there in between the hash and the numbers for Head as he was able to move forward. Clock's running down 2:23, and you see Valley taking their time right now as they're content to just let this thing run down and make sure they get a first down here before they start to run downfield.
All right, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Valley going right to left, south to north here at Valley Stadium. Wind at their back, handoff Head, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage and bounces down to the Dowling 44, and a gain of 4. So a nice run by Head after the initial wall of defenders, and he pushes them back. And it'll be a first down. First down, Valley.
First down, and Dylan Manning comes up in the hole and makes the stop. Just a yard too much there for the defense to give up. And now you might see Valley start to rush, start to pick it up a little bit.
Tigers with 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Tied into the left side, and the quarterback remains Trevor Willett. He came in relief of Caleb Jewell, who was injured in the first half. Here's a little split screen, and flanker screen incomplete. Intended receiver that time was Jaden Brown. Had it well set up because he had receivers in front of him who were blocking, but he just couldn't handle the pass.
Yeah, well-designed play, and he did have an opening there that as the ball went through his hands, I think he just peeked a little bit before he caught the football as the play was developed and set up accordingly.
Minute 39 remaining here in the second quarter. 2nd and 10, Valley at the Dowling 43. Dowling 7, Valley nothing. Maroons scoring on their first possession of the contest. They go 3 plays and 48 yards. Davis on the touchdown, and now here's an end around to Craycraft, and he's hit, and they're going to stop forward progress. Whistles are blown, and he'll get back to the 49-yard line, and that is a 6-yard loss of forward progress there on the play there to Craycraft, Matt.
Yeah, they're nice play there by the Dowling defense, and they rallied to the football here to make it 3rd and long, and now Valley is going to be content to sit here and just wind it down and say we're happy at 7-0.
And if you remember the last time Valley had the ball, the quarterback went back, Trevor Willett, and nobody was open, ran it, and he fumbled the football, and Dowling took over. So it's 4th and long, and the Tigers just winding the clock down, play clock down to 7, game clock at 50 seconds, and they're going to take a timeout. So we'll take one with them. 45 seconds left to go here in the first half. Dowling 7-0. We'll take a 1-minute break here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for programming comes from Klein Electric, a local family-oriented electrical contractor, a 100% employee-owned company with branches across the Midwest to provide comprehensive electrical services. Klein Electric is able to help with any residential and commercial project. Learn more at kleinelectric.com.
The St. Anthony Golf Outing is Friday, September 8th at Blank Golf Course in Des Moines. Foursome and sponsorship opportunities are available with 100% of the proceeds supporting St. Anthony School and Parish. Visit iowacatholicradio.com. Thank you, St. Anthony's, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel. Online anytime at iowacatholicradio.com. Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, this is Father Dan Kirby from the Diocese of Des Moines. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
All right, back here at Valley Stadium, Tigers on a 3rd and 16 from their Dowling 49. They'll give the handoff to their tailback, and that is Damon Head. He crashes across the 45 down to the Dowling 40. He'll pick up 9. It'll bring up 4th and long for the Valley Tigers, and that was pretty safe play there for Valley as last time they went to pass, no one was open, and they fumbled the football, and this will bring up 4th down.
Yeah, and now they're just going to let it run down and take one shot at the end zone, I'm assuming, unless they think their field goal kicker can kick a 57-yarder, which I doubt. And so they're going to take one shot at the end zone here on a Hail Mary as they let the clock run down inside of 10 seconds.
Reminder, John Chida will catch up with Dowling head coach Tom Wilson at halftime. We'll also have interviews following the ball game and with Coach Wilson. Dowling 7-0 over Valley, and 1 second remaining, and that'll force the Tigers to punt. So if you have a punt return drawn up, and I'll go to the coaches here. Coach Maindring, Coach Chido, what do you do here? Fourth down, 1 second remaining, and you think your punt returner might decide the first half or have the final play of the first half. What do you think?
No, they're going to go for it.
They're going to throw it in the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're going to take a shot at it here. You have nothing to lose. You throw it down in the end zone, so that's what will happen.
Plus, if you get a penalty, you get another play too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Then you're talking, Johnny, an untimed down potential.
Yeah.
If there is a penalty.
This is one of those plays where, as a defense, you practice this stuff. You just want to knock the ball down. Just knock it down.
So this is like the Hail Mary at the end of the game, but now the end of the first half. Let's see what Valley does. They've got 1, 2, 3 receivers split out wide right, one to the near side in front of us to the left.
You can see Dowling's in a prevent defense. They got 5 guys 10 yards, 15 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Right. No tight end and one back in the backfield for Willett. Trevor Willett, the backup quarterback in relief of Caleb Jewell. Back to throw Willett. He got a strong arm, throws in the end zone, and it is tipped and incomplete, and the half will end with Dowling leading 7-0 over the Valley Tigers. But the Tigers had the ball quite a bit in that second quarter. Maroons guilty of 2 turnovers, a fumble by Cataldo and a fumble by Kerner on a punt return. But Valley unable to score. And let's get John Chido in as he's going to catch up with the Dowling head football coach on the far sideline. That's Tom Wilson. And Johnny, take it away.
Well, Coach, some turnovers that stopped from points being on the board and kind of got you out of the rhythm offensively. But overall, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, obviously we started out very well, but then on the sack and Dante fumble, we had Trey right open in the middle of the field. It was just a mistake blocking wise, and we're hurting ourselves here. And it's a rivalry game. We've got to be able to finish drives.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you, John, for that report from the Dowling sideline as the Maroons lead it 7-0. And it's a real quick recap of scoring in the first half as I think our guy is back. Jared Seifert keeping the numbers here. You could toss the light on there.
We'll wait for Mr. Seifert. He is back.
Oh, yeah, I thought so. But Dowling scoring on their first possession of the first half after Valley had the ball and punted to the Maroons. The Maroons go 3 plays, 48 yards, capped off by a Rashad Davis 20-yard run. Andrew Schumacher's extra point put Dowling up 7-0. That was 9:58 left to go in the first quarter, and there have been no scoring in the contest. Both teams threatened getting somewhat deep in each other's field territory, but didn't come up with any scoring. So we're going to take a break here at halftime. We'll come back with our halftime guest. Hope you stay tuned for that. As we do have Mr. Seifert.
We're going to write a couple things down.
You're going to write a few things down? Or?
So the old app is done. They just said, no, we're not doing it anymore, so we're doing it through Huddle.
Okay.
Our guys are fine. If you want the team stats is here.
We'll start with team, and then we'll go to the individual.
So the players, so I'll give you there.
So we're getting a crash course on the new Huddle stat thing. We're going to take a break and come back. And thanks to our board ops tonight, as Roman's back there. Appreciate him, Brady Grimm, and, of course, Matt Wilcomb. Roman Wilcomb on the board tonight. Halftime score from Valley Stadium. Dowling 7, Valley nothing. We'll take a 2-minute break and return with our halftime stats and our halftime guest. Stay tuned as we will catch up with Alicia Hilligus, the Director of Enrollment at Dowling, here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, this is Roman Wilcom from the Basilica of St. John in the Diocese of Des Moines. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
In the early church, many heresies popped up regarding the understanding of God and Jesus Christ. Some denied that Jesus was fully God, making him to be merely the greatest human being ever. Others denied that Jesus was fully human, making him some sort of spiritual deity. The Council of Ephesus was convened to deal with the Patriarch Nestorius' teaching that Jesus' human nature was divided from the divinity, denying that Jesus was a single united person, both fully God and man. To get his point across, Nestorius asserted that Mary was only the mother of the human Jesus, but not the mother of God. The Council of Ephesus condemned Nestorius' teaching as heresy and proclaimed that Mary is indeed the Theotokos, which means God-bearer or mother of God. In properly understanding Mary, we safeguard the Orthodox view of Jesus as no mere temporary human temple of the divine, but truly the second person of the Trinity from all eternity, who united himself to a fully human nature, true God and true man. The people of Ephesus ran through the streets in jubilation, for they loved Mary and supported the Orthodox view of Christ. As Catholics, we know that true devotion to Mary secures the truth and leads us closer to Jesus. As at the wedding of Cana, Mary points us to her son and says, "Do whatever he tells you." This is Greg Ewell for Faith Check.
Hey, welcome back to Valley Stadium here in West Des Moines. Beautiful night for high school football, week number 2. Dowling leading at halftime 7-0 over the Valley Tigers. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandering, John Chido on the sidelines. Game time temperature was 86 degrees. South wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Humidity at 37%, so not a bad night to be out on a beautiful Friday night here in Central Iowa. Let's take a look at the first half statistics before we get to our guest. First downs in the contest, Valley with 14 first downs, Dowling with 6. Rushing yards, Dowling 7 rushes, 52 yards. Valley 22 rushes, 61 yards. Tigers averaging just under 3 yards a rush. Dowling averaging 7.5 yards a rush. And passing, Dowling 6 out of 10 passing. That's Dante Cataldo with no interceptions. Valley 5 out of 14 passing, and that's their backup quarterback, Trevor Willett. Maroons have passed for 89 yards. Valley has passed for 27 yards in the game. So the total yardage, Dowling with 141 yards in the first half. Valley with 88. Maroons have turned the ball over twice. Valley has turned the ball over once. Dowling is 0 for 2 in third down conversions. The Tigers, 3 out of 9 in third down conversions. Valley just 1 of 3 in fourth down conversions. Valley has 1 sack. Dowling has 2 sacks for negative 11 yards. So let's look at some of the team numbers. And now individually, Dante Cataldo for Dowling at quarterback. 6 out of 10 passing, 89 yards. Hank Brown, the leading receiver, 3 catches for 54 yards for the Maroons. Matt Kerner, 1 catch for 22 yards. Rashad Davis, 1 catch for 7 yards. And Trey Wilson, 1 catch for 6 yards. Rashad Davis, 5 rushes, 42 yards. And Dante Cataldo, 2 carries for 10 yards. That's the Dowling offensive stats. For Valley, Trevor Willett at quarterback, 4 out of 12 passing for 23 yards. Leading receiver is Craycraft with 1 catch for 16 yards. And the leading ball carrier for Valley, Damon Head, 13 carries, 65 yards. And Mason, 4 carries for 12 yards. So that's
Mark,
a look at some
after 42 years, you can't read my writing?
I
What is
did.
that?
I did.
know, that was pretty good.
I did. It looks just like a doctor's note or something, But thank you, Matt. As we're still,
I do have some scores here.
Go ahead.
Johnston up on Cedar Falls, 14-7 at the half. Waukee up on Northwest, 17-7. Centennial is up on Ames, 28-0, and Southeast Polk has taken it to Ankeny, 35-7 at half. So.
Yeah, that is we wonder what kind of Ankeny, how they would respond after their upset win, if you will, in their battle of Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial, and that's a surprising score, but not surprising. And well, Matt, as we go to halftime here with Dowling leading 7-0 over Valley, we're joined by the director of enrollment at Dowling Catholic High School, Alicia Hilligus, and you know her quite well. I met her. Well, I was there for what they call that mini school night, and met her in the hallway.
I think I gave you a jug too.
Yeah, you did. He also, Alicia, crashed my daughter's last period. He knew I was in there and came in to throw this principal's weight around. We got a discussion about uniforms, and that's kind of a sore subject last Saturday night. I have not dove into that, and everything's been good tonight. So
And your daughter's Grace, right?
My daughter's Grace,
okay,
yes.
And I know her. She always gives me a friendly smile in the hallway. So
she takes after her dad.
Yeah, I have a senior who graduated from Holy Trinity. So she's definitely a familiar face from Holy Trinity.
Well, Alicia, thanks for joining us, first of all, making it all the way up here. Packed night, and you're here at Valley State. What do you think of the view that Mr. Maynard and I have?
It is beautiful, and I am enjoying the Valley Band. They are amazing. I wish I could be there listening to them, but they're doing a great job.
Yes, they are. Yeah. Matt, you know this young lady. She's been down the hall from you, I think, for a few years.
Yeah, a couple years, I think. And why don't you talk to the audience, Alicia, about how long you've been at Dowling and what your role is?
Yeah, so hello, everybody. Thank you for having me, Mark, and congratulations on over 40 years of being the voice of Dowling Catholic. This is my first time meeting you in person, but I feel like I know you. I know you just from your voice.
Thank you very much. Very gracious. And that I'm sure there was a staff meeting about this tonight. I got a feeling. But, no, thank you very much. It's an honor, and it's a privilege for me to be up here in this seat talking on a beautiful night like this, and having you up here talking about how more people. I'm a Dowling grad in 1980.
Absolutely.
How people can enroll, and that's the whole point.
Exactly.
You're at the point of all that.
Yeah, and so I'm the director of enrollment. So I work with a team of two other wonderful friends, Mrs. Kelly Lench and Haley Swartz. And it is our task to talk to families and just answer any questions that they have about Dowling Catholic, the enrollment process. Why they should consider sending their student to our school. And I just really enjoy talking to families about a school that I love. I was a parent before I was an employee. My son was at a track meet when he was a freshman, and that is how I met a coworker who said they're looking for someone in the admissions office. And at the time I was at Drake Law Admissions, and I said, I applied because my son was having such a great time at Dowling. I said, I want to go there too and be part of that great community.
And you have, and I see there's a number 18, some kid named Lucas Hilligus.
Lucas Hilligus.
Related to you?
Yes, that is my senior. I also have a freshman.
Congratulations.
So, the football team is very important in our family. It has really taught the boys grit and perseverance and just hard work, dedication, and also just friendship.
Alicia, what is one of the most common questions you get when a family comes in for the first time? And what's one of the question you get asked the most?
That's a great question. I think sometimes one of their main concerns is that maybe their student in middle school or elementary, they're coming from a middle school that may be smaller than Dowling. And so they feel a little bit concerned about that transition to high school. However, I think that they are very pleasantly surprised that we are an incredibly welcoming community. The faculty, the staff, they want to make sure that all of our students acclimate and know where they're going, that they're doing well in their classes, that they are growing in their faith. They're growing as persons, as students, and I always get comments like, "Oh, my son is so happy, my daughter's so happy at Dowling."
Yeah. Okay, so Mark talked about mini school night. Can you explain what mini school night is and what that does for the Dowling community?
Absolutely. So that's a very a really strong tradition at Dowling Catholic. I have never seen it at other schools, but basically you get to walk in your students' steps. For one evening, you go to their 8 classes. You need to figure out where their classes are in the building, but we do have ambassadors that help you maneuver around our building. And it's great because you meet all the teachers. So this is only for parents. So all the parents meet the teachers. They learn about the teachers' backgrounds, what their student will be learning. And so for me, it was wonderful to just meet all the teachers. And also you see all your friends. You meet parents that are that have children in your students' classes. I bumped into you in the hallway, Mark.
I was running late, too, for class.
Exactly.
And the teacher found me.
It's nice that we get to, for one evening, understand what it's like to be in their shoes and know that it is challenging, finding their classrooms and walking from class to class.
We're at halftime here at Valley Stadium. Dowling leading Valley 7-0 in the football game. Our guest is Alicia Hilligus, Director of Enrollment at Dowling Catholic High School. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring conducting this interview. And, I was running late to classes. When you have to go to the gym and then all the way up by the auditorium, that's tough on a 60-year-old guy. And I did make it, but barely. They were almost in the second period by the time I got there. But that was interesting, and that was I learned a lot about the teachers, the background, as you mentioned. As a parent, very important. And I wonder why my daughter's happy when she comes home from school. She's tired because she's out for cross country, but she's happy. I like that.
Yeah, well, I was talking to a new parent yesterday at the freshman football game, which is very unfortunate. So I have a freshman in the football team. But the parent, he's new to Dowling. He's new to parochial schools. And he said, what are you guys doing at Dowling Catholic? My freshman does not want to come home. He tells me, pick him, like he goes to the volleyball games. He's participating in activities.
That's great.
He's happy being in school. And hearing that from a parent that is not Catholic, this is very new to him. It was just great to hear that he loves that his son is enjoying being at our school.
Tremendous culture, tremendous environment.
Absolutely.
Mr. Maindring and
Exactly.
Dr. Ryan and all the administrative staff and the teachers do a great job. And Matt, you are to be commended. I'm not saying that. I see that every day. And what Mrs. Hilligus said is so true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are fortunate. And after mini school night the other night, the comments I keep hearing was your teachers, they just show joy. I mean, they're happy to be there. They're really happy about what they're doing.
It really
and
showed.
it really is. The marriage that we try to create is finding people that are passionate about their curriculum and then have a compassion for student learning. Elisa, you mentioned student ambassadors.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain a little bit to everybody out there what our student ambassador program is about?
Yeah, so we have a little bit over 100 student ambassadors. These are students that go through a very strenuous application process. There's an interview, letters of recommendation. This year they had to make a video, but these are students that have been handpicked to represent everything that's the best of Dowling Catholic. We have athletes, we have academics, we have musicians, and so what they do is that they represent us in different activities, whether it's an open house, whether it's a visit to one of our parochial schools, whether it's giving a tour. And so they really share their experience with parents and give them the student's point of view of what it's like to be a student at Dowling Catholic. So they are incredibly helpful in our task of recruiting students and just educating families about our school.
You mentioned open house. Is there a date for that?
November 5th.
November 5th.
So we'll have the details on our website. But please, if you're interested, if you're curious, or if you just want to come and say hi to Principal Maindring or myself, come to our open house November 5th.
Now, on that mini school night, as I mentioned earlier in my little speech, my daughter's last class, the teacher kind of looked over my shoulder, and there was the principal. And I think he found my daughter's class schedule and wanted to talk to me, and I have a few hours of jug left over way back in the 80s, and they've kind of forgiven that. I think I'm accumulating that. How can I work that off in a respectful way, Alicia? Because I think that's going to happen.
You know what? Any jug that you have ever received,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cancel it right here. All the work that you do as the voice of Dowling Catholic football, you know what? You no longer have to do any detention, Mark.
Thank you very much. It took somebody from the enrollment office.
He gets on TV one day and has an interview and this little newscast thing, and then all of a sudden he gets everything absolved.
That's right. Yeah. You are absolved of all your justice under God detentions.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now, as I told the folks, this got on the cutting room floor. 4 presidents, 4 athletic directors, 4 head football coaches in my 40-plus years at Dowling, and it's all been great. But always looking for a little bit more fun, and we always have it. But I got in a little bit of trouble last week in Cedar Rapids, got carried away in Lynn County, and thus the administrator to my right, the principal, Mr. Maindring, that was a sore subject. But Johnny's here tonight, and we're going to talk 8th grade football later.
Yes.
But Alicia, how can folks get a hold of you at Dowling? I know dowlingcatholic.org is the website. You have your phone number.
Yes, so feel free to call me, 515-222-1045. If you have, any questions about our school, the application process, if you want to come in for a tour, we're happy to show you what we do every day. Like I said, I am a parent and an employee, and as a parent, I feel very blessed that my child is, actually my 2 children this year, are in a school where faith touches every aspect of their student life, the classroom, the athletics, activities. So it is a community that is really nurturing that faith formation, that personal formation, that academic formation. And we have great leaders like Principal Mandarin, Dr. Arnold, shout out if you can hear me, Dr. Ryan. I mean, I just work with amazing leaders who also mentor me and encourage me to be the very best that I can be.
And a shout out to those student ambassadors who led us around on many school night, but who are there for those tours. The kids do a great job. Yes. Who trains them? You're training, right?
So
not
myself, Mrs. Lench.
There you go.
And then the senior and junior ambassadors. So so we offer leadership to those older ambassadors so that they can share their wisdom and everything that they've learned with the younger.
One more question before you go. Oftentimes we have students that want to shadow or families that want to shadow. How does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you have an 8th grader that would like to come and shadow one of our 9th graders, go to their classes, go to lunch, kind of see from the inside what going to Dowling Catholic is all about, just give us a call in the admissions office and we'll make that happen.
All right, that's 222-1045. That's 515-222-1045. Get a hold of Alicia Hillegas from the Director of Enrollment at Dowling Catholic or dowlingcatholic.org. Alicia, thank you. Great football game. It's going to be a great second half.
Yes.
And hopefully the Maroons can rally the troops. They got a 7-0 lead, but you're playing Valley, rivalry game, great crowd, and thank you for being part of it.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mandarin.
All right, we're going to take a break, come back. 7-0 Dowling, and we'll be back with the kickoff. We'll bring in John Chido following these messages on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Explore 7 mysteries of the faith unlocked by the Holy Eucharist. Thursday, October 19th at 6:30 p.m. at St. Joseph in Winterset. Catholic Answers staff apologist Joe Heschmeyer will show how a right understanding of the Eucharist is key for understanding both the New and Old Covenants, early Christianity, and your own spiritual life. Plus, view the Eucharistic Miracles of the World banner display. Don't miss Joe Heschmeyer, October 19th in Winterset. Register now at iowacatholicradio.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org.
Thank you for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Did you know when you support Iowa Catholic Radio, you can make your donation go farther by asking your employer about matching gifts? Ask your employer about matching gifts, and thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Welcome back to Valley Stadium, West Des Moines, as we're about ready to begin the second half with Dowling Catholic leading 7-0 over the Valley Tigers. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, John Chido. Radio only tonight as the Maroons are 1-0 after the win last Saturday night over Cedar Rapids Kennedy, 38-21. Valley Tigers coming off a loss here at home to Southeast Polk. Tigers are 0-1, and all of a sudden, Matt Maindring, we've got a 7-0 halftime lead. We did all the talking at halftime. Appreciate Elisa Hillegas joined us from the enrollment office. But let's go down to John Chido. Johnny, get us caught up what's going on the Dowling sideline here at halftime.
Well, I think that the talk is there's a lot of opportunity to put points on the board and come away with only 7 in the first half, especially when you had those opportunities, the opportunity in the red zone and moving the ball, and then had those turnovers. But, and then when your defense holds strong and Valley is in with their own end zone, they're back to the 10-yard line and getting ready to punt, and then we turn the ball over. That's another big missed opportunity because you're able to flip the field and have that short field. So I think offensively there's a lot of opportunities to capitalize, and turnovers and mistakes kind of limited that. And the Dowling defense has been playing really well. They've been on the field a lot, and they forced some turnovers themselves. So,
Johnny, we found out last week when you were doing the post-game show with Coach Wilson, one of the questions kind of alluded to his statement saying Maroons are going to have the first possession of the second half here. And last week, the only time Dowling went 3 and out and had to use their punter was on the first possession of the second half.
That's
right. Do you think something may have changed? And we're going to watch this as Dowling gets ready to receive the football. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think absolutely. And it's just the one thing you get nervous about is that too much urgency, trying to fight, trying to make things happen instead of letting it come to you. But you can tell the intensity level is a little bit different than last week. and be, like you said, getting the ball to start the second half. I would imagine that they're going to take some shots and things they saw in the first half. They're going to try to capitalize on them. Just like when you come out in that first drive, you know how it was smooth. They went down the field and it was boom, boom, boom. They put points on the board. So I think they need to get back to that rhythm offensively.
All right, thank you for that report, John. John Chido on the Dowling sideline, as he has been all night. Keep in mind other games going on tonight. The Battle of Waukee, number 5 Waukee at Waukee Northwest. Second-ranked Southeast Polk at Ankeny. Ankeny ranked 3rd this week. 4th-ranked Johnson at Cedar Falls. Iowa City West at Urbandale. 8th-ranked Indianola at 3rd-ranked Norwalk in Class 4A. And those are just some of the scores. Matt, you guys, everybody caught up with some of those scores at halftime. We'll keep an eye on them as we progress. Underway. And here's the kickoff by Alvarenga, high-end over-end kick, and it goes in the end zone touchback. There'll be no return by Rashad Davis, and Dowling now with a first down and the first possession of the second half. They'll start, Matt, at their own 20-yard line, leading 7-0.
Yeah, with the way the first half went, Valley's excited about where they're at because Dowling went down and scored in 3 plays on the first drive, and just like this was Sunday, a Thursday afternoon walkthrough, and then it just got harder and harder, and then they just got in their own way. It feels like with the way the defense is playing, one score here for the Dowling offense could put some pressure on Valley that they don't want.
All right, Dante Cataldo is the quarterback. Went the distance for Dowling. Handoff Rashad Davis left side. Rashad trying to bounce it outside the numbers and is wrapped up at the 25. He'll gain 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Little read on that left side, going out there behind Rockers and Freilich on that left side, and Rashad able to get out there, make one guy miss, and then get a 5-yard gain out of it.
So Maroons now with a 2nd down and 5 from their own 5-yard line. Mentioned the offensive line: Kyle Rockers, Joe Freilich, Max Shelton, the center, Nate Agos, the right guard, and Isaiah Seymour, the right tackle. And now a little swing pass near side, caught but shy of the first down is Curtis Horace on the reception, trying to make something happen, and he's brought down. I believe was it Horace or was it Zach Smith with the reception? But up to the 22-yard line, loss of 3.
Little flare pass out there that Valley was ready for on the wide side of the field and came up and made the loss.
So Maroons are now with 3rd and 8 from their own 22. Different personnel coming in here. They'll split out wide to the right, Curtis Horace, who is in there. One back in the backfield, and that is Rashad Davis. 2 receivers left, tight end to the left, Dowling left to right, defending the north end zone. Back to throw Cataldo. He's got some room across the 25. He's tripped up, and they're going to put his knee down at the 28. He'll be shy of the first down by 2 yards.
He'll be just short, and interesting. Yeah, they're going to punt.
Going to bring up 4th down with the punting unit coming in, but, well covered was the Dowling receivers by the Valley defense. Their secondary, everybody covered, and Dante took what they gave him, but he just wasn't able to get the first down. He needed a yard and a half. They're going to spot it at the 29.
Very similar to the way they started against Kennedy last week, and going to give Valley a shot on with a shorter field right away.
Tigers have Isaiah Pinks and Jaden McGregory. McGregory, number 7, the transfer. And now a high end over end kick by Dowling. And it's going to bounce out of bounds at the 35 of Valley. So a nice punt that time by Zach Smith. And the Valley Tigers will take over for the first time in the second half with 9:47 remaining third quarter, It's Dowling 7, Valley nothing. Let's go down to John Chido, and Johnny, the Maroon offense comes up a yard and a half short.
Yeah, Mark, and I need to give more credit to Valley's defense. They played a good ball game. They're putting Dowling's offense in tough situations. Make that they had a good first down play. The second down play, Valley made a nice stop and moved them back, and they were able to keep Dante in the pocket and scramble at the last minute and able to get him down short of that marker. So you got to credit Valley's defense so far.
Yeah, no question about it. And on first down, they hand it off, and that's Damon Head, who has shared the tailback duties with Darius Mason, and Head gets the first half start. He also gets the second half start, tries to go around right in, and he's hit and dropped. And they're going to put the ball right at he got about a yard up to the 36-yard line. 2nd and 9 coming up. Tough going against the Dowling defense, who have played well, but we've seen too much of them in that first half, Matt.
Yeah, the defense right there did a really good job of spilling that. And what we mean by that is they stopped it up inside. It's a play designed to go inside. He tries to bounce it outside, but they spill it back inside. Kenny James chased him right back into Dylan Manning for the stop.
All right, Trevor Willett at quarterback, and a handoff to the tailback, and that is, again, head, and he goes right up the gut, and he's hit and dropped right about the 38-yard line, gain of 2. So we'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Tigers.
Yeah, Ryan Bobo there for the sophomore came up and found out, Damon Head's tough to bring down up high. And he went up a little high on him, and he stopped him. He did get him stopped, but he's going to learn as he goes through. He's going to want to get his legs and make that a lot easier on himself. But a great play by Ryan Bobo crashing from the backside to get the stop.
Ball on the 38-yard line, 3rd and 7 Valley. They're going to send 3 receivers to the right, tight end to the right. So that's the strong side. Back to throw is Willett. Looks right, now looks over the middle. Nobody open, now fires it over the middle, and the pass is overthrown incomplete. Tried to hit Craycraft on a crossing route, but he was well defended that time by the Dowling defense, led by Luca Scigliano.
The Dowling defense secondary has done a really good job all night long, and Willett hasn't had many opportunities to find an open receiver downfield. And, and it was, I believe he only completed 2 passes in that first half. And so the defense has done its job in keeping things in front of them.
All right, back to punt is Alvarenga, thrust into duty due to Caleb Jewell, who was also their punter. He gets off a high end over end kick, and Kerner at his own 22. Stiff arms a tackle at the 30, still on his feet, and finally driven down at the 35-yard line. And that's where Dowling will have a first down. Not about a 15-yard return for Kerner. Again, this is his first game back after sitting out last week with an injury. And he and Dante Cataldo had the 2 fumbles for Dowling in that first half. And now the Maroons with the first down at their own 35. Let's go down the Dowling sideline where John Chido's at. And, Johnny, let's see if this offense can pick it up a notch.
Yeah, Mark, that was a great defensive stand there by the Dowling defense, being able to force Valley's quarterback to flush the pocket and throw the ball on the run. And that when Dowling's defensive line is able to do that, good things happen. And you got to credit the secondary as well, keeping everybody in front of them, like you mentioned. But now, Dowling's going to have a good opportunity with field position, but I think, Mark, there's a penalty here.
Yeah, they got holding on Dowling on the return, so the return by Kerner to the 35 is going to be brought back. That's a spot foul. All the way back inside the 15, down to the 12-yard line is what my man George Harwood, one of the officials tonight, spots Dowling.
Yeah.
So the Maroons deep in their own territory here, Matt.
They marched off a lot of yards there, and Coach Wilson's asking for an explanation because the flag was down back over here, but they marked it down, a spot foul on the 18-yard line, or it must have been on the 22.
It had to be.
Yeah.
It's a 10-yard spot foul, and the ball is right now on the 12, so it had to be the 22-yard line is where the hold was at. Nonetheless, first down Dowling at their own 12, leading 7-0, 8:07 to go. Third quarter, Dowling with the ball going north to south, left to right in front of us. Handoff for Rashad Davis, finds a hole on the left side and gets across the 15 up near the 17-yard line, and a gain of 5. Rashad is averaging about 4 to 5 yards a carry.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Mark, when we watched that last play, is Coach Wilson might just say, we're going to grind one here, and let's give the ball to Rashad and let him run. That time the handoff was to the left side again, Max Shelton, Freilich, and Rockers, and they got a crease for him, and Rashad get up there and got 7 yards. And, the thing, they double-teamed right there. We haven't called his name very much tonight, Nava, and they double-teamed him on that last play.
Yeah, he is a horse, and he's getting a lot of the reps. And now Cataldo out of the pistol, handoff for Rashad Davis right side, tries to turn the corner, can't. And he's driven down at the 19-yard line, so he'll pick up 2. But what started out as a quick opener closed immediately by that Valley black shirt defense as the Tigers in their black uniforms, white numbers, white helmets with the orange trim, white pants, Dowling all white with the maroon decals on their white helmet.
They ran that to the short side of the field right there with Rashad, and Valley defense rallied to it really well and didn't allow many cutback lanes. That's kind of a stretch play right there where they're trying to find a spot where they can cut him back, but nothing was there.
All right, Horace is split out wide right, 3 receivers left, 5 receiver route, no tight ends, nobody in the backfield. Cataldo back to throw, blitzes on. Dante avoids 1 tackle, rolls to his left, looking downfield, fires it out, and the pass is intercepted. Intercepted by Valley at the Dowling 25-yard line. Tigers come away with the 3rd turnover of the night. And that was huge.
That's a big play right there. Dante got loose, and he had a guy over the top, and I thought he was going to flip it over the top to him. Will Leifker was released a little bit deeper, but he went to the middle guy, and I believe it was Isaiah Pinks was able to run underneath and pick that off.
So Pinks with the interception, no return on it. Valley with the first down at the Dowling 26. And John Chido, that was not a good play that time on third down for the Maroons.
No, it sure wasn't. And Valley sent the outside linebacker on an outside blitz, and he had a straight shot at Cataldo. He was able to flush the pocket there, and he had, like Matt said, had the guy open, but nice job jumping the route by Pinks.
Pistol formation, the handoff to head, and he's swallowed up by the Dowling interior line. No gain of the play. They bring up second down 10 for Valley at the 26-yard line. And again, the Dowling defense, backed up, but the Maroons have pitched the shutout thus far. 7-0 Dowling. 6:15 remaining here in the third quarter. On a beautiful night at Valley Stadium. Game time temperature was 86 degrees. And now that the sun is set, it's gotten cooler, and the wind has stayed out of the south. So Valley with the wind at their back here.
That was Will Ringwelski there on the stop as that second group is in now in that defensive front.
All right, here is the Valley quarterback, Willett, back to throw, throws towards the end zone, and he overthrew everybody, incomplete. He was looking for his receiver, Jaden McGregory, the transfer from Des Moines North, but he was one-on-one with the Dowling defender, and that's Jacob Kruger. And we saw that a lot last week as Kruger was assigned the Kennedy number one receiver.
Yeah, Jake's going to get the number one guy on the team every time, and right there he didn't give him any room. He didn't let him press him inside, didn't give up any ground inside the numbers, and kept him in the corner, and makes a small window for the receiver.
So it is third down and 10 Valley at the Dowling 26. Two receivers to the left, one to the right, tight end on the right for Valley. Here's Willett, long snap, stays in the shotgun in the pocket, and he overthrows, leads his receiver too far, incomplete to Noah Craycraft. That'll stop the clock with 5:46 to go and bring up fourth down for Valley from the Dowling 26, and this is
interesting.
Over a 40-yard field goal,
yeah.
And the kicker is in there. Alvarenga will attempt a field goal, and I think it's going to be right at 41 or 2 yards.
Yeah, well, let's see where he... I think it's going to be about a 43-yarder once he puts the block down. Yeah 44.
Right.
44 yards.
Yeah, it's right between the 3 and the 4. So the Tigers now, the holder, the long snapper is their linebacker, Theron Castle, and the holder is Dante Sherrata. The kick is down and up, and it is no good.
No good.
So,
and again, remember in high school football, the thing there for Swenson is there's not much of a gamble because the ball goes back to the 20-yard line, and so it's not a line of scrimmage thing like it is at the upper levels.
Well, John, as we go down to Johnny Chido, 7-0 Dowling. The field goal of 43 yards, no good, and the Dowling defense once again holds.
Yeah, they're having a game, and they've been put in tough situations, and they keep on stepping up and getting the job done, but. You can't let this Valley team hang around and have too many opportunities because that could come back and hurt the Maroons.
All right, and on first down, Rashad Davis gets the handoff, and he just kind of waits for his offensive line, turns the corner upfield from the 20, and they're going to spot it at the 21-yard line as Tigers just strung Davis out for a gain of 1.
They did. That front four for Valley, Stinson at 245, Naba at 340, Weibel at 225, and Horn at 200. Did a good job there of just standing up that offensive line and stringing that thing out and let the linebackers plug it up. No room for Davis to run.
The linebackers, Van Arkel, Castle, and Dacey for Valley. Corners are Olson and Pinks, and now the handoff once again up the middle. Maroons move the pile up to about the 24-yard line, but that's where it's getting sticky. Going to bring up 3rd and 6 for the Maroons from their own 24, carried by Rashad for about 3.
Here's where they're going to bring in a different package here defensively. 2 on, there's 2 off. I was going to say and so they get a little more of a pass package in here defensively as Dowling's got a 3rd and long, and this offense has got to get into the rhythm, back into that rhythm and find it here.
Maroons scored on their first possession, 3 plays and 48 yards on the first offensive possession of the game. That was in the first quarter, and that was it. And now here's Cataldo back to throw, fires the ball, and it's caught but shy of the first down. No gain of the play as he dumped it off. Hank Brown on the reception, but no gain on the play. It'll bring up 4th and 6 for Dowling from their own 24.
The secondary rallied there really well and was able to cut that off right away. The design of that play is to get Hank the ball and let him shake one guy and get up and get a first down, but there was no room there at all.
So Valley will have twin safeties back on the return. That'll be Isaiah Pinks, number 2, and Jaden McGregory, number 7. They'll stand back at their own 42-yard line. Punting it away for Dowling will be Zach Smith. The snapper is Wyatt Jones. Good snap, and Smith gets it away. And the kick is returned by Valley, and that is Pinks across the 50 down to the Dowling 49. So the Tigers will have great field position from the Dowling 49. With 3:24 remaining here in this third quarter that's been scoreless thus far. First down Valley at the, they're going to call it at midfield. Let's go down to Johnny Chido on the Dowling sideline.
You know, we knew this was going to be a tough ball game going in here. Anytime you have a Dowling Valley game, I don't care what the records are and what time of the year it is, it's always going to be a hard physical game, and we're seeing it tonight, and it's been played pretty much that way defensively. It's been a defensive game on both sides of the ball.
And Johnny, Dowling, 4 possessions here in the third quarter, 4 3-and-outs.
Yeah.
Not gotten a first down.
Yeah.
All right, first down Valley. Will at the handoff, and that's head again. And Damon slides and puts his head down. He's near a first down, pushes the pile forward down to the Dowling 42-yard line. He'll pick up 8 yards and a nice run by Damon Head.
He cut that one back. A little bit of over pursuit by the defense. They had the play stopped where it was designed to go, and the Head is an experienced running back, and Damon just took what was given to him and cut it back to the left side, and then got behind one. Believe it was number 73 there, or 74, Nolan Anderson, but they got behind him and just plowed forward.
A good push by the offensive line for Valley. Nolan Anderson, Derek Ellens, Matthew Booth, Ben Rickert, and Braylon Jennings, and handoff up again to Head. He's stacked up at the line of scrimmage, but he bowls his way forward down to the Dowling 38. He'll pick up the first down and a gain of 3.
Lucas Scagliano on the stop there for the Maroons as he stuffed the hole, but by then the line had gotten that little bit of surge and had enough for the first down.
2.5 minutes remaining, third quarter. Our score, Dowling 7, Valley nothing here in the third quarter. Beautiful night. Packed house here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. The Battle of West Des Moines. These two teams last met in the semifinals at the Unidome, and Valley won that game last year 22-21 to end Dowling's season. They had a tremendous fourth quarter to do it. All right, pistol formation for the Tigers with 2 receivers to the right. Willett on play action rolls to his right, kind of stumbles, fires the ball out. The pass is caught and then dropped, incomplete. They'll rule it.
Good play out there again. I believe that's Zach Smid in coverage as they tried to roll Willett out and let him throw it on the run there, and Willett's coming up hobbled here a little bit. I think when he stepped and planted on the run right there, he's got a cramp in his foot.
Yeah, he reached down and tried to twist his toes around, and he's still doing it.
He did get the ball released and hit his receiver in the target, but no catch.
And Valley, starting quarterback, if you joined us late, Caleb Jewell was hurt on the second play of the second possession for the Valley offense, and he has not returned. He had a leg injury on his left leg, and now Valley wants to call a timeout. I don't think Coach Swenson liked what he saw or wondered about his quarterback. We'll take a 1-minute break. 2:06 to go, third quarter. Dowling 7, Valley nothing here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from businesses and organizations who share in the mission of connecting listeners to Christ while connecting you to their products and services they provide. To learn more and support the businesses and organizations who support the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, visit iowacatholicradio.com to view our business sponsors. If you would like more information on how your business or organization can become a business sponsor, contact Deacon Marr 515-223-1150, 515-223-1150.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formalware, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formalware, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, this is David Piper from St. Francis of Assisi in West Des Moines. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
Here's Valley with the football on a 2nd and 10 toss play left side, and that's to Head, and he can't get outside the numbers. Brought down for a loss back at the 40-yard line as Valley has now went to their third quarterback, and that is Ethan Stemler, the 5'11 junior, 5'11", 170-pound junior, wearing number 12. So what you saw, Matt, Trevor Willett was shaken up, and he did take himself out of the game with a cramp in his left foot, apparently.
Yeah. And that, how many times does your third-string quarterback get reps? So this will be interesting to see what happens here on a passing down. That was Aiden Ducharme on the stop there for the Maroons on that last play.
All right, 3rd and 12 Valley. Ball on the Dowling 40. Dowling 7-0. And now here's Stemler back to throw, and he fires out a little flanker screen. It's caught and hit and dropped at the 35. Shy of the first down is the Valley receiver. They tried to run that play earlier, and it didn't work. Gregory was the receiver, and he stopped for a gain of 5.
Dylan Manning came across, and he's the guy that's responsible to turn that back to the outside there, and he came and turned it in. They get a little bit of a gain on it, but it was a stop. Here it is, 4th and 7. Again, you're in kind of no man's land here for Valley, and at 4th and 6, he's going to let the clock run as much as he can. 4th and 6, and he's going for it.
Yeah, play clock at 10 seconds. Line of scrimmage is a 34. They spotted his knee down there. As mentioned, 4th and 6. Stembler, the new quarterback, back to throw. The right-hander looks left, throws left. The pass is caught by Mason out of the backfield, and he's dropped at the 30, and he'll be shy of the first down.
Yeah, he'll be short of the first down. And so the Maroons will get the ball back with 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter, up by 7.
So Dowling takes over 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line as that play went for 5 yards to Mason. And John Chider will bring you in. Now it's the third Valley quarterback in there, and the Dowling defense holds once again.
Yeah, they're doing a good job creating all these mismatches when you have linebackers on running backs in space or receivers in space, and Valley's been trying to capitalize on those matches, and that's what you want is a linebacker on space with the running back or receiver, and Dowling's linebackers been doing a good job, and you got to credit the front four of putting pressure as well.
All right, Dowling with the first down at their own 29-yard line. 30 seconds remaining in the first half. Thank you, John Chido, for that report. And now Cataldo at quarterback. The give is to Rashad Davis, and Rashad slices his way across the 30 up to about the 33-yard line, and that may be the final play of the third quarter. So a gain of 4.
Not much of a win, so you're not thinking about trying to just run out the clock and get the wind behind your back. But
yeah, flags
I think they will here now, though.
Flags are going south to north, right to left, and that is the final play of the third quarter. So we've come to the end of 3 quarters here at a packed Valley Stadium. Week 2 of the high school football season, and it's first number 1 ranked Dowling 7, 6th ranked Valley nothing. We go to the fourth quarter here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
This is a segment about small Catholic innovations that made a huge impact from the OSV Institute for Catholic Innovation. Long before Wimbledon, a group of Catholic monks in 12th century France were taking a break in their courtyard. I imagine it went something like this. A monk, I'll call him Brother Leo, shouts, "Take this, Brother John." He tosses the ball to Brother John, and Brother John, a little startled, swings his hand, smacks the ball back, yelling, "Take this, Brother Leo." On and on they play until their superior comes marching out, yelling, "What are you two doing?" Brother Leo replies, "It was just a game of take this." But in French, the word for take this is tenez. So that may not be the actual story, but you can thank Catholic Innovation for tennis. Learn more about what OSV Institute is doing to inspire and encourage Catholic innovation at osvinstitute.com.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel. Online anytime at iowacatholicradio.com.
Welcome back to Valley Stadium. We begin the fourth quarter with Dowling leading 7-0. Dante Cataldo on first down, keeps the football, now runs with it. He's got a wall near side 40, and he's going to be run out of bounds by Valley at the 43-yard line as the Maroons go from their own 33 and shy of the first down right at the 42, gain of 9. And that was a quarterback draw that it was supposed to go right, ended up going towards us. It went left.
It went left, and that's what speed does for you right there. Dante Cataldo able to turn that play around, which looked like it was going to end up in a loss, and he's able to spin around and run the other sidelines. And right now this is time for him to make a play. And he made the first one right there. Now he's going to get it going again.
First down, Dowling at their own 44-yard line. Gain of 11 by Cataldo. Hand off to Rashad Davis, and he just bowls his way. I think a penalty flag down. Now 2 are down. Davis up to the 45 of Valley, but this may be coming back. We'll see.
We got 2 flags. Must have been pretty obvious, whatever it was.
I don't think it's good for the offense.
There's a potential that it was a face mask, but we'll see.
So Davis,
that might be wishful thinking, Mark.
Davis gets a gain of 12, and officials are talking it over. And we'll get the announcement here so we can pick it up. Face mask. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
And they're going to whistle that on Valley's Cole Weibel, number 50. He starts the defensive tackle, guilty of grabbing Rashad's face mask.
I started to think that might be the call because as he was going through there, a lot of times you won't see 2 flags and a holding that it's that obvious, but you will catch a face mask. And especially the way he was going through the muddle that he was right there, that Rashad was.
So that'll move the ball down to the Valley 39-yard line. First and 10, Dowling. Pistol formation, 2 receivers to the right. Dowling going right to left. South to north with the wind at their back. Handoff Rashad Davis right up the gut, right over center, and a Valley player shaken up, and that might be their outstanding nose guard, and I hope it's not, and that would be Ramad Naba.
Naba's on the ground. I think it's hard to tell.
I think it's him. Let me see here. We'll get the binoculars going, but
yeah, I believe it is.
Carry the ball to the 36, so a gain of 3 by Davis, and if that's the big guy, Ramaz Naba, we'll see. And
it's such a
quiet over the stadium because this is their Valley's best player, and he's their nose tackle, and he caused Dowling a lot of grief in that dome game last year.
They're working on the upper body, so you don't know if it's a shoulder or an elbow. It's such a train wreck in there with all those bodies flying around that if he was reaching, he might have got it hyperextended or something.
Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Skeffington's Formal Wear along with Klein Electric, the Catholic United Financial. And don't forget the Iowa Catholic Radio Fall fundraiser begins September 21st through the 29th. Our goal is $200,000 for our operations to support Iowa Catholic Radio. And matching dollars are available. Your gift is tax deductible. You can go online at iowacatholicradio.com. Good news for Valley. Nabaz is up, and he walked off under his own power. Ramaz Naba, 6'2", 320 senior, and he'll be replaced at least for a play, and that is good news for the Tigers, seeing him walk off, Matt.
Yeah, he's going to walk into the tent. They're going to hold him. He was holding his arms, so you don't know if it was a shoulder or what on that. We hope the young man's okay and is able to come back onto the football field.
All right, second down, 7 for Dowling. The line of scrimmage, the Valley 36. Dowling 7-0. Rashad Davis right up the gut, right over center, and Max Shelton. And the Maroons have just been angling their running plays right to the A-gap. Nothing outside the tackles, just between the 2 guards and the center, Shelton. The 2 guards, Nate Agos, the right guard, 6'2", 225 and a senior. And the left guard, Joe Fralak, 6'2", 270 and a senior. And, of course, Shelton, 5'11", 220 and a senior. He might have felt pretty good after that play because Naba was on the sidelines.
Yeah. They brought in Alonzo Jimenez at that nose tackle position, and so they went right at him on that play, and he stood up to it.
So 3rd and 5 Dowling on their own on the Valley 34-yard line. Pistol formation for the Maroons. Tight end on the right side, 2 receivers right. Cataldo read option, gives it to Rashad Davis, slips a tackle, angling for the first down, and he's brought down at the 31-yard line. He'll be shy of the first down, gain of 3, and those were 3 tough yards.
Yeah, those are 3 tough yards. He might have. It's going to be. Oh, they are marking it back.
Yeah, they're going to put it down at the
31.
31, gain of 3.
Gain of 3. So you got a 4th and 2 right here at this point, and right
Same
now
place.
you line it up.
Same place Valley was with their situation, and they
Yep.
went for it. Dowling's going to go for it. Bring a different personnel in.
And Naba comes back into the ball game for this fourth down play.
That's good news for the Tigers. Pistol formation for Dowling. Middleton in at fullback, if you will. 2 receivers to the right. Cataldo at quarterback. Dowling going for it. 4th and short. Handoff Rashad Davis. Penalty flag down. And Davis, everybody has to stop, and I don't see what this is all about.
They blew the play dead, so it's got to be a motion or something on the Maroons.
Dave Rittman, the veteran referee, and it's a ball start on Dowling, so that'll back the Maroons up 5 yards. And let's see, the Maroons going to bring the punt team in.
This is an interesting call.
Or they go for it.
Yeah, the defense has been playing so well, and this is an interesting because you're not going to gain a whole lot, but boy.
Hey, John Chido on the Dowling sideline. The Maroons still trying to figure out what they're going to do. What's the call here, Coach?
4th and 7. You have 3 receivers to the right, so I would imagine it's going to be some type of a short route running the outside receivers off.
All right,
my guess.
All right, 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Cataldo out of the shotgun. Looks left, can't find a man. Rolling to his right, fires it out. The pass is, well, they say it was caught. The officials say it was caught.
No, they're calling it incomplete.
Yeah. He came down out of bounds. He made the catch, but he came down out of bounds.
Yeah, I think he lost control of it as he hit the ground. It was a great catch out there, but he did go, the defender, I believe, number 20, Ryan Airbab, did a really good job of knocking that down.
So the Tigers will take over from their own 36-yard line. 7-0 Dowling here in the third quarter with 9.5 minutes remaining. I'm sorry, in the fourth quarter. Let's go down to the Dowling sidelines here in the fourth quarter, and that's John Chido. Johnny?
I don't know. I was right here, right in front of that, and Hank made a great catch and had the foot down, and I think the official didn't have a good angle on it because Hank's back was to him.
Did he have control?
But the control out of bounds is what he saw. But it was one of those either way.
All right, Valley now comes out throwing, and the pass by Ethan Stemler is caught inside the Dowling 40 and brought down right around there. And that's a great catch and the biggest play Valley's had tonight. Noah Craycraft on a first down play from the Valley 36.
They had Kenny James isolated on that side, and he broke to the outside. That was a long throw by Stemler. He threw all the way across the field, I think, and Kenny was thinking he's going to come back towards the football, but the football went back to the sideline and out at the numbers, and Kenny was just a step late getting there.
So it's a 23-yard catch, first down Valley at the Dowling 41. Tigers now will move Craycraft to the right side, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Tight end is on the left, 1 back in the backfield. Stemler back to throw, he fires it out. Pass is caught, but where nobody else could catch it, and back it to the 42-yard line, loss of 1, and that's their tight end, Crownover on the catch for Valley.
They tried to clear out that side again and sneak Crownover off to the wide side. That time Kenny James was flying up and makes the stop right away for the Maroons. It actually ends up being a 1-yard loss.
Yep, so it'll be 2nd and 11. 8.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Timeouts. Dowling has 3. Valley has 2 remaining. Tigers now with a 2nd and 11 from the Dowling 42. Tigers going left to right into this 10 to 15 mile an hour wind. Craig, and the handoff goes to Mason, who's back in there. He gives him a spark inside the 35 down to the Dowling 34, gain of 8.
Fresh legs by Mason. He's just a strong runner, and you see some of the cramps starting to happen for the Valley Tigers here as Mason comes off the field with a calf cramp after that run. When it starts to cool down towards the end of a ball game like this, that's when you see those cramps start to happen.
Well, it's been Damon Head getting the load of rushing. Maybe Mason's had about 5 carries, so it's right now 3rd and 3. Tigers will move their tight end Crown over to the left side. And now a loose football picked up by the tailback, and he's hit and drop, and it'll bring up 4th and long for Valley. Mishandled snap. Of course, the third-string quarterback, Ethan Stemler, the 5'11 junior, in relief of Trevor Willett, 6'4 senior. In relief for the starter, Caleb Jewell, who we haven't seen since the second series due to a leg injury. So lots of things happening in the backfield. 4th down and 6 now for Valley. The ball moved back to the 36-yard line or 35-yard line. Loss of 1 after all that, Matt.
Yeah, you got to give Valley credit because, for as many quarterbacks as they've had in there, that's the first missed exchange that they've had. That was Owen Pins on the stop there. Heady ball played by him and getting head stopped.
All right, here's a snap. Stumbler out of the shotgun. Has time. Fires the ball out. The pass is intercepted by Dowling. Down the far sideline he goes. Inside the 40. And he's finally driven down on the Dowling interception as we look through the
Jake Kruger.
Yeah. Kruger, yeah. And he might have been sitting on that one all night, and that might be the play of the game.
Jake Kruger is sitting on that one right there as the ball went out there. Again, he's throwing all the way across the field, which is a gamble. And Jake saw that, broke on it, makes the play, and flipped the field here. Now the Maroons got to see that offense do what they do.
Down to the 26-yard line of Valley with 6:39 remaining. Might be the play of the game. Johnny, I'm guessing in the postgame you're going to have an all-defensive interview.
Well, I've been thinking about that, but I don't want to say anything. I don't want to mush anything or
here we go.
Anything.
No, we don't want to do that. I don't think so. Maroons now with the first down at the Valley 36 on the ground. Rashad Davis, he finds some room across the 20, outside the numbers, still on his feet, and he might be near a first down. The side judge here has him down at the 16, 17-yard line.
This is a yard early. And again, this is here, and this I like this. Dowling's getting right back on the football. They need some momentum going and rapid.
Handoff goes to Rashad Davis. Got the first down, still on his feet. Twists and spins near the 10. Down to the 12, they say. A gain of 5 and a Dowling first down for Rashad Davis. They're going to do it on the ground.
Yeah.
That time they went right over Isaiah Seymour, the senior right tackle, and Nate Agos, and then Will Leifter, the tight end.
They've got them on their heels right now, that defense, and they're going to keep going right at them in a hurry-up mode here.
1st and 10, Dowling. They said the ball on the 11. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Here's the snap out of the shotgun. And they give it to Rashad Davis, still on his feet inside the 5. A very slow developing, and I'm telling you right now, Rashad just kind of creeped his way in there between the right over center and guards. And next thing you know, he's down at the 4.
It is fun.
Gain of 8.
It is fun to watch that happen because he is just crawling up behind those big guys and keeping those feet churning.
And he can just set in there, Rashad, at 5'8". Here's a snap by Cataldo. Give to Rashad Davis, right side. Angling in for the score. Did he get in? Yes, he did. Touchdown Dowling. And the Maroons have made it a 2-score game with 5.5 minutes to go. Davis on a 4-yard run, and that's his second touchdown of the night.
And that's the rhythm that this offense can do, and especially in the fourth quarter. You talk about conditioning, you talk about wearing other teams down, and you saw it right there.
All set up by Jake Kruger's interception, and he returned the ball about 30 yards and gave Dowling a pretty good field position. Maroons go 4 plays, 26 yards. Extra point attempt, ball is down. And the hold by Jack Jepson, the extra point by Schumacher is good, and Dowling leads 14-0. 5.5 minutes to go. Fourth quarter here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, returning, and we'll be back after these messages on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. CTOIowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
You can enjoy positive and inspiring music to help you through your day on the Iowa Catholic Radio app at iowacatholicradio.com.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel. Online anytime at iowacatholicradio.com.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium. The kickoff by Schumacher and Dowling. It goes into the end zone touchback. Valley will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line as Dowling goes 4 plays, 26 yards, capped off by a Rashad Davis 4-yard run. That followed the interception by Jacob Kruger of about a 30-yard return that gave Dowling great field position. Maroons lead at 14-0. Back to the Dowling sideline. Across the field we go to John Chido.
Now that's the Dowling offense you like to see, that hurry-up offense, rhythm, pounding the football. And as Matt mentioned, you're wearing down that defense, and you're able to get up in that hurry-up and not let the defense set, and their defense sets as they want to. And Dowling's offense had Valley's defense on their toes and was able to capitalize.
Yeah, no question. We'll keep you here on mic here, Johnny. I got a question for you after this play. Handoff goes to Head, left side. He's got a little bit of the seam. Scampers around. He's picked up the 1st down and more. Spun around and spun up to the 35-yard line, a gain of 15. And Johnny, you were very complimentary to the Valley defense, and rightly so, as Dowling's offense could not get into tempo until that last series.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of field position. Football's a game of momentum, and emotions change. And when you get that emotional high, you got to take advantage of it.
All right, Stemler back to throw, fires in traffic, caught by Craycraft, 1st down Valley, up to the 48-yard line. So a 15-yard reception, now a 13-yard reception, Matt Maynard, for Valley, and they got a 1st down.
They're going into their hurry-up mode, and they're making some plays right now. Head with a big run, and then, Stemler hits Craycraft over the middle right there for a nice play, and they've got things moving.
All right, Stemler back to throw, has time, fires over the middle. The pass is caught. Once again, it's Craycraft, the 6'1", 195-pound senior. He had 4 catches last week. He's got another catch here, down to the Dowling 39, and another 1st down.
Nick Frerich's on the stop there for the Maroons, and they're keeping things in front of them. They just don't want anything to get behind them here and let that field shrink a little bit.
13-yard reception, so back-to-back 13-yard catches. Stemler back to throw. Now doesn't see anybody open. He'll take off, angling near side, run out of bounds at the 30. And he'll pick up pretty good yardage, maybe 9 on the play. We'll see.
Dylan Manning again from his rover spot, whatever you want to call it. And he, in that will position, he flew across the field and was able to push him out of bounds, as the defense did a really good job right there of stopping him from going to the left where he wanted to roll, forced him back to the right, and then Manning makes a play.
7-yard run for the third-string quarterback, Ethan Stemler, who's been thrust into action due to the injury to Caleb Jewell, the starter, and Trevor Willett, the backup. Here's Stemler back to throw. Flanker screen. Pass is caught and hit and drop right at the 29, maybe down to the 27 after the catch. Nice job that time by Valley. 1st down.
That's been one of their better plays, best plays tonight, the most consistent plays is that flanker screen, and Manhattan comes up and makes a stop there for the Maroons.
Gain of 5. 1st and 10, Valley at the Dowling 27. Dowling 14, Valley nothing. 4.5 to go. And now Stemler keeps the football. I think he bobbled the snap, and he fell forward and maybe to the line of scrimmage, and that's it, Matt.
Fumbled snap there, and he was fortunate to get that football back.
So line of scrimmage at the 28, loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Stemler back to throw, looks right, throws right. The pass is on a little out pattern, caught out of bounds right around the 19, 20-yard line. Pickup of 8, shy of the 1st down.
Quick play there out to Craycraft or McGregory.
Yep.
McGregory, and in front of Jake Kruger there, keeping things in front of them. Right now they're content to let them do that as Valley moves down the field here, down by 2 touchdowns with just under 4 minutes to go.
Clock stopped, 3rd and 1 Valley. Ball in the Dowling 19. Maroons trying to pitch the shutout. 14-0 Maroons. Valley trying to make it a 1-score game. Stemler with 2 receivers to the left. Low snap, picks it up, runs with it, turns the corner at the 20, and that's where he stacked up at the 19. No gain in the play. Again, mishandled snap.
Well, again, your third-string quarterback's not going to get many reps during practice. And, the nerves for the young man have to be a little bit high right now, and just a couple snaps there that have bubbled through. But his composure's been really good otherwise. Here it is, 4th and 1 right now.
4th down and 1, 3:30 left to go in the 4th quarter. Valley has 2 timeouts left, Dowling 1. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Stemler on play action, has pressure, and he goes down. He's sacked back at the 26-yard line as Dowling called up the blitz, and once again.
That was Ian Middleton, and I believe maybe Johnny got that second number, if it was Jackson Miller or if it was, I think it was Isaac Beaver.
And nonetheless, turnover on downs for Valley, and Dowling will start 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Or not so bad, actually. 28-yard line is where they'll start. As Stemler went down, slow to get up, but he did make it off the field. But Maroons called up the blitz, and Adam Jack, the Dowling D coordinator, he's called that up at certain times tonight, Matt.
Yeah, he has. And while we got him in here, Mark, I want to give a shout-out to one of the guys I've coached with for 5 years in Wisconsin. He's in the hospital up in La Crosse. And, Randy, we got you in our prayers here, big guy. Keep battling, and we've got you here.
Those guys in Wisconsin are tough.
They are tough.
The coaches are, too.
Yeah.
Here's read option. Cataldo keeps it, and he turns around right in and picks up pretty good yardage, crosses the 30 up to the 35-yard line, a gain of 7.
Gain of 7. Nice read option there by Dante as he makes a great read, runs off the right side as everybody's looking at Rashad after that last series. And now it's a game of we're just going to grind this baby out.
The enemy is the clock for Dowling. The Maroons have 14 points. And they're just trying to wind it down. They're going to let that play clock go down. It's at 20, so we're going to have a lot of time between plays. Coach Swenson has 2 timeouts remaining. It's 2nd and 3 Maroons from their own 35-yard line with the 14-0 lead. Dowling with the ball. 5 on the play clock. Cataldo out of the shotgun. Here's a snap. Give to Rashad Davis. Right side. Short side of the field. He's got the first down. Still on his feet. And finally driven down right around the 41 or 2-yard line. A gain of 6.
Gain of 6. And Coach Swenson has 2 timeouts. He was hoping to get a stop there before it, make it a 3rd down and then call a timeout. But right now it's set the chains and wind the clock, and you probably got about 3. I mean, you probably got to get one more first down.
You do with 2:15. Where's our math guys? Got the iPad.
Yeah,
Seifert.
Depends on if he calls a timeout or not.
That's true. Pistol formation, or check that one back in the backfield, and that is Rashad Davis. Cataldo with 5 on the play clock. 1 receiver on each side. 2 tight ends for Dowling. Handoff Rashad Davis right over center, and he grinds his way up to the 45 of Dowling, gain of 4. And we may see a timeout here by Valley. We'll see.
One of the things that you got to love about how Rashad runs is that he always finishes forward. Great running backs finish forward. They don't get knocked backwards.
Good
they
point.
Lean, and he is always finishing forward. The young man is, and it's fun to watch him. Now you'd like to think you'd take a knee here, but with 2 timeouts, I don't think he's going to stop it. So it might be take a knee time.
Coach Swenson is not stopping the clock. I want to thank our sponsors. We'll have the post-game show tonight. Don't forget, we'll have interviews on the field with head coach Tom Wilson and players. And I'm pretty sure we'll see the defensive, maybe 2 or 3 guys on defense get that microphone.
Yeah, I think Dylan Manning was all over the field tonight. You know, him and Jake Kruger obviously with that big play. But Dylan Manning made a lot of plays, and it was fun to watch him. Lucas Scigliano had a really good sack on a 4th down, I believe, and he's had a pretty good game.
We've had Mr. Kruger with the interception that gave Dowling their +2 touchdown. I want to thank our folks back at Iowa Catholic Radio, and that's Roman Wilcom, his dad, Matt, and, of course, Brady Grimm. Appreciate all the work behind the scenes. Greg Richwine does a tremendous job. Got another tower up in southern Iowa today, an FM tower, so we appreciate Greg and all the support he does and all the people behind the scenes at Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring. John Chido, you're on the sideline. It's got to be a different sideline than it was about 10 minutes ago, Johnny.
Yeah, how it changes in a matter of seconds, you know, with the game and then the sideline and the emotions, and it's just that I would say the second half just flew by. I mean, just flew by. I looked up at the clock, and there's only 3 minutes left in the game.
It flew by so much, I called it the 3rd quarter. It was really the 4th quarter at once. Handoff for Rashad Davis, and he's got the first down on a 2nd and 5. And he's up across midfield, and that'll do it. I don't think Coach Swenson's going to mess around too much here.
Got to make one more snap, so. Yeah, that should do it. One more snap, and that's a ball game. I'll tell you what, Valley, Valley just played a heck of a ball. Their defense did a really good job. Because this is a really, really good offense that the Maroons have this year, and they gave them everything they wanted.
First down, Dowling at the Valley 46. One more snap. The Maroons are letting the play clock go down under 10 seconds rather. Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, and Mercy One. Dante Cataldo takes a knee, and that'll do it. 28 seconds remaining. Valley is not going to use their timeouts, and the Maroons are going to go to 2-0. Valley goes to 0-2, and the Tigers, it doesn't get any easier, as next week, 6th-ranked Valley at 4th-ranked Johnston. And Dowling, it doesn't get any easier, as Ankeny comes to Valley Stadium. Ankeny is 3rd-ranked in the Associated Press poll. Dowling 3rd, so another top 10 matchup for the Maroons next week. This one is over. Congratulations to Tom Wilson and the Dowling Maroons as they defeat the Valley Tigers 14-0. And Matt, as we look up and look at the Dowling fans across from us, the full moon in effect.
It's a beautiful picture.
It certainly is.
I should take that picture.
And I think it'll show up on your Twitter feed later on, I got a feeling.
Yeah.
Final score, Dowling 14, Valley Tigers nothing, alongside Matt Maindring, Mark Amadale. We'll move to the post-game show. Again, our thanks to the Wilkham family in the studios, and Roman doing a great job with his dad, Matt, and Brady Grimm, and all the folks behind the scenes for Iowa Catholic Radio. We're going to take a 2-minute break, come back. We'll have interviews on the field with John Chido, and we'll get this game stats from Coach Seifert. So stay tuned for our post-game show for you folks here at the stadium. As you head out in the cars, the line is starting to develop as the parking lot is starting to get full. And we hope you tune in to Iowa Catholic Radio's coverage of Dowling Catholic football, our 47th year. Final score, Dowling 14, Valley nothing on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for programming comes from Klein Electric, a local family-oriented electrical contractor, a 100% employee-owned company with branches across the Midwest to provide comprehensive electrical services. Klein Electric is able to help with any residential and commercial project. Learn more at kleinelectric.com.
Catholic United Financial, proud to support Iowa Catholic Radio. Catholic United, member-owned, with financial services to protect and connect Catholic families, parishes, schools, and communities. Catholic United, helping Catholics in Iowa and the upper Midwest build secure financial futures for 145 years. Learn more about the Catholic United story. Call local member advisor Duke McCarter at 515-380-0153 or go to iowa.catholicunitedfinancial.org.
Alive in Christ with Eucharistic Amazement, September 17th through the 19th at St. Francis of Assisi in West Des Moines. Each evening will include a holy hour at 6 p.m., followed by a talk from Sister Joseph Mary. Learn more at iowacatholicradio.com.
I went to church and just sat there and listened. I really didn't absorb anything. I think I just found myself believing that I didn't need God. I just had everything under control, and church was actually a burden to me. I had this sin that I carried in my heart for a long time. And I told myself for many, many years that the Lord wouldn't forgive me for this. When Father in the confessional says, your sins are forgiven, there truly is a feeling of weight lifted off. I don't care if it's 2 or 3 little sins that you're carrying, there's a feeling of I can breathe deeply again. I feel pure inside, and I'm ready to come to Mass. You can have a beautiful car, a big fancy home. If you don't have Christ in your life, there's an emptiness that's there. When you come home to the church, you're coming home to a Catholic family where people today just embrace you.
If you've been away from the Catholic Church for whatever reason, we invite you to take another look. Visit catholicscomehome.org today.
Welcome back to Valley Stadium, West Des Moines, alongside Matt Maindring, Mark Amadale. Final score tonight in week 2 of the high school football season, Dowling 14, Valley nothing. Pair of touchdown runs by Rashad Davis of 20 and 4 yards. The first one back in the first quarter, just under 10 minutes left. The final touchdown by Rashad, the 4-yard run, was set up by an interception by Jake Kruger, and that came with 5:31 left to go in the fourth quarter. And the Maroons win it 14-0. And I know John Chido is working on interviews on the field. The Dowling team is meeting, as is the Valley team on the field. Final thoughts from their coaches. So let's give the game stats for everybody out there. Dowling with 13 first downs. Valley with 24 on the night. Tigers rushed the ball 34 times for 93 yards. Dowling 27 rushes for 163 yards. Now these are team averages. Dowling averaged 6 yards a carry. Valley 2.5. And the three quarterbacks for Valley combined for 13 out of 27 passing, 1 interception for 98 yards. Dowling, Dante Cataldo went 8 out of 14 passing, 1 interception for 84 yards and no touchdowns. So total plays in the contest, Dowling had 42 plays for 247 yards of net offense. And for Valley, they had 64 plays, so 22 plays more than Dowling for 191 yards of total offense. Both teams had 2 turnovers tonight. Dowling was 1 of 6 in third down conversions, 0 for 2 in fourth down conversions. For Valley, they were 4 of 14 in third down conversions and 2 of 6 in fourth down conversions. Dowling had 1 sack in the actually a couple sacks in the game. Valley was sacked rather 3 times for 20 yards, and Cataldo was sacked once for no yards. So that's a look at the team statistics. Individually, Dante Cataldo, we mentioned, 8 out of 14 passing for 84 yards. Hank Brown, 4 catches for 53 yards. Matt Kerner, 1 catch for 22 yards. And Rashad Davis had 1 catch for 7 yards. Trey Wilson, 1 catch for 6 yards. Rashad Davis on the ground, 22 carries for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns tonight for Rashad. Dante Cataldo, 5 carries for 35 yards. And I got to read the principal's writing here. Oh, my goodness. I don't know if I can do this, Matt. Let's see. Willett, 4 carries for 16 yards. That was the second-string quarterback for Valley. Stemler was 8 out of 9 passing for 71 yards and an interception. And Craig Kraft was our leading receiver for Valley, 5 receptions for 49 yards. And, I see what you did. Damon Head, 19 rushes, 90 yards for Valley.
And Darius Mason.
Mason, 7 carries for 21 yards. So there's the numbers. Dowling total yardage, as we mentioned, for the Maroons, 247 yards. Valley with 191. And that was a quiet 247 yards for the Maroons. And a quiet just under 200 yards for Valley. A defensive prone game here, Matt, is we're going to go right down to the field. And, Johnny's on midfield. He's got it's got to be the young man, Kruger, who had a different Saturday night, but he's certainly got a great Friday night. And Johnny, take it away with the Dowling cornerback.
Jacob, I just want to walk us through that last play that you made there defensively. Was a big turning point of the ball game. You're only up 7-0 at that point. Was able to capitalize on that interception. Just kind of walk us through that play a little bit.
We know that they were going to run the ball down our throat, tire us out. A lot of that conditioning in the offseason helped out, and I just played my game, just played with the same swagger, didn't get down about last week or anything, and then just it came right to me. The opportunity presented itself, and I thrived on the opportunity.
Mark,
you guys, can Jake hear me?
Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
All right, Jacob.
Hey, Jacob.
Hey, you think the conversation is going to be a little bit better tonight? You got, I know Grandpa and Grandma were here, and I'm sure they're pretty proud of that. But you learned a lot last week about a lot of different things, and you just kept the game in front of you tonight. And I, proud of your effort. And what were you thinking when that play rolled out towards you?
I was like, throw it to me. I want it. I want it all.
Well, you did an outstanding job, Jacob, and I know you got tested last Saturday night at Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids. You were up against one of the top receivers in the state.
Yep.
But, tonight you're up against one of the top teams in the state, a team that knocked Dowling out last year. Your thoughts preparing for this game, and you guys were jumping some routes early in that first half, you and your cornerbacks out there.
Yeah, we were prepared. We watched film. We knew the plays that were coming, and obviously today you've seen it. I mean, there's a 0 on the scoreboard now. So,
absolutely. Well, you look good out there. A big difference. I know your cornerback coach, and that's Coach Smith. What advice did he give you guys this week in preparation for Valley?
Don't get too high. Don't get too low. I mean, you just gotta play the same way every play, no matter if it's a 50-yard gain or a 2-yard loss. So, I think that helped a lot.
It's outstanding work, Jake. And, as you look forward now, is there a game next week that means a little bit?
Oh, yeah, I get my revenge on Ankeny.
Yeah. You know anything about Ankeny? You from there or you passed through there?
Still in the area for sure.
Still in the area. Well, I tell you what, Jake, it was fun to watch tonight. It's fun to watch that maturation process that you have and watching you grow as a football player.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, well, thank you for joining us here on the postgame show from the field. Jacob Kruger, congratulations. Go celebrate.
Yep.
All right, John Chido with our first interview. We'll get the headsets all switched around. Dowling 14, Valley nothing. Final here at Valley Stadium.
Got someone else. Now, who do we got next?
Well, Johnny's going to have to tell us. He's got his back to us, but the
can't
Maroons,
see the number.
Maroons had it's all defense. We know that.
Yeah.
It's all defense. We'll send it down to John Chido. And who do you got, Johnny?
I have Kenny James here with me. Great night defensively all around. You guys were on the field a lot and were able to make big plays, big stops when it mattered. And just tell us about your preparation coming in this week and how it evolved on the field tonight.
Yeah, first and foremost, I just want to thank our coaches. I mean, we prepared a lot. I mean, we knew this game, for us to win, we would have to win the physical battle. We've emphasized that a lot. Like, that was the only way we were going to win, and we had to believe in each other. We knew it was going to go down on sometimes, and sometimes we had to just bring faith with each other and believe in one another, and that's what brought us a victory tonight.
Hey, Kenny, you had this is Mr. Mainring. You had a nice play out there. Did you get that pick?
Yeah, I think I did. I think I did. But, hey, they thought otherwise, so, hey.
Yeah.
That's the official.
Well, Kenny, a big difference than last week. You know, you guys had a couple of outstanding receivers and an outstanding quarterback at Cedar Rapids Kennedy. Tonight you had 3 quarterbacks to defend, but I think it goes down to the system, and you guys had Valley well scouted. I was impressed with how you guys, and I told this to Jake Kruger, how you guys were jumping some routes early in the game.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's just the film. The film told us a lot, and our coaches, you know, they put us in the best position to make plays, and we did it.
I got one more question for Kenny. Were you more nervous for this game or when you had to read at Mass after school?
Ooh, I'm not going to lie, this game.
Okay. You did a great job reading at Mass after school, by the way.
Thank you.
Hey, Kenny, nice job. Thanks for joining us. Anybody you want to give a shout-out to that might be stuck in a parking lot as the traffic's not moving very fast?
The student section.
The student section. Hey, they showed up tonight, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, man.
They did.
All right. Well, Kenny, best of luck. Stay healthy, and we'll talk to you next time. And best of luck against Ankeny next week.
Thank you.
All right. That's Kenny James, one of the Dowling defensive backs. Oh, you knew it was going to be all defense tonight. And Johnny has come through, and now he's going to bring in the head coach, and hopefully he'll put the headphones on tonight that won't blow up in his ear, and we'll let John take it away. Again, the final, Dowling 14, Valley nothing. Post-game show here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Amadale, Matt Mainring, down back to the field at the 50-yard line is John Chido with the Dowling head coach Tom Wilson.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a tough-fought win. It's always Dowling Valley is always going to be a tough matchup, and it was a grind, and you guys were able to pull away late there in the fourth quarter and finish the job tonight.
Yeah, thank you. It certainly wasn't pretty, but I've been around this long enough that if we can get a win over Valley, I'll take it however it looks. And, you know, for us to get a shutout, Mark probably knows better than me, but there hasn't been many of those in this rivalry, I know, in the last 19 years. And really proud of our kids, our effort. The exciting thing is I think we can still get a whole lot better, and we'll get back to work and see what we can do.
Mark or Matt?
Coach Wilson, you know, it was fun to watch that offensive line just take over at the end of that ball game and salt this one away.
Well, it was, and we challenged him at half, and, you know, I probably got away from Rashad a little bit in the first half, but I wanted to mix things up and try to take some of the pressure off of him, and, you know, he wants the pressure on, wants the ball, obviously, but I had told him at halftime that, you know, it's going to come down to us running the football, and you know, that drive after the Kruger interception, we went tempo a couple of different times and out of some different formations, and then Rashad finds the end zone. So that was great to see.
Yeah, Tom, and I know there's not been very many shutouts in this series. You're exactly right. But one thing I noticed, you got your score on your first possession, and then it was a typical Dowling Valley defensive game, and your defense stood up. They were out there quite a bit. You know, offense had more senior personnel coming back from last year, but your defense, as young as it is, inexperienced it is, they really grew up, and they had their backs to the wall several times, and they stood up to a very fine Valley team. Congratulations to Adam, Jack, and that group.
Well, thank you. Yeah, very proud of those kids. You know, the defensive line, there's a strength in numbers there, and we try to keep them fresh, and they really did a good job. And you know, secondary-wise, we had to do a pretty good job tonight. You know, there wasn't a ton of completions and wasn't allowing the big play, and then Kruger gets the interception. And, you know, you mentioned us scoring on the first drive, which is exactly right, and honestly, we had them going, you know, again, and you know, we had a receiver wide open in the end zone, and then Dante gets hit from the backside. So we're that close from putting another one on the board, and who knows what happens. But, they're never easy. Valley's too well coached, and you knew that they were going to play hard, and they started milking the clock after that first series. So then, possessions were going to be precious. So just happy to come out of here with a win and move on to week 3.
Yeah, it just seemed like we got that defense from Valley, or that 15-play drive just took the tempo out of the game for you and that defense. And what do you the upside of this offense, just there's an unlimited upside, top side of this offense, isn't there?
Well, I think so. Obviously Rashad the first 2 weeks, he's getting, most of the attention and deservedly so. But, Dante with his ability to run and just to also throw, and we feel like we've got some receivers on the outside. One guy that we haven't featured much yet is Will Leifker at tight end, and I think he can be a weapon too. So hopefully we're just scratching the surface.
Well, Tom, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the win. I know it's been quite a few months. The kids probably were looking forward. This is one of those games you circle on the calendar. Now that that's over, all you get is number 3 ranked Ankeny, who was leading at the last report. What was the last score you had, Matt?
Well, Southeast Polk up on Ankeny, 51-21.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, next week's the most important game of the year, as Coach Mitchell from Grandview said, because it's the next one. So.
That's right. He was your guest speaker yesterday or tonight.
No, it was yesterday, and he was awesome.
You had a wrestling coach who's won many national champions talk to a football team. How'd that go?
It was terrific, and me being a wrestling guy, I really liked it. So he was great, and honestly, nobody's had any more success around the country, irregardless of level or sport, than Coach Mitchell has, and so we're really proud to have him.
Thanks again, Tom, and best of luck next week.
All right, thank you.
Tom Wilson joined us here on the post-game show from the field. The Dowling Catholic head coach as the Maroons go to 2-0, and that's win 191 for Tom at Dowling Catholic. And let's see, got his career stats here somewhere. Yeah, win number 280 in his career. But the veteran, Mr. Gary Swenson, my gosh.
It's a battle every night.
He's approaching 50 years in coaching, and has just done a great job. So what a battle it was. We're going to take a break. We want to thank our sponsors and supporters all season long, and if you would too, if you hear them and you patronize our sponsors, which we encourage, let them know you heard the game on Iowa Catholic Radio or programming on Iowa Catholic Radio. They include Bozen the Florist, Red Zone. Not a whole lot of Red Zone action tonight. Say more with Bozen, 515-244-ROSE. That's 515-244-7673, along with Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, and Mercy One. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, John Chido. We'll take our final break and come back and recap tonight's game and preview next week's game here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Would you like to highlight a birthday, anniversary, or other special occasion? You can do that by underwriting a day of broadcasting on Iowa Catholic Radio. For a monthly gift of $300 or more, your message will be heard on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network throughout the day of your choosing. It's the perfect way to honor your memories and milestones while supporting your favorite radio station. Dates go quickly, so reserve yours now. Call 515-223-1150 or email deaconmark@iowacatholicradio.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. You can enjoy positive and inspiring music to help you through your day on the Iowa Catholic Radio app at iowacatholicradio.com.
I don't care if they remember me, only Jesus.
And welcome back to the post-game show from Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, where Dowling was a 14-0 winner over the Valley Tigers, as Coach Tom Wilson mentioned to us. Not a whole lot of shutouts in this series for Dowling or Valley, but tonight a low-scoring defensive game, and you can say what you want, throw everything out the window. Valley's defense played much better than they did last week against the Southeast Polk Rams, the defending state champs, and Dowling's defense played much better than they did against Cedar Rapids Kennedy. And who knew it was going to be a defensive showdown, and what a game it was for the week 2 of the high school football season, Matt.
Well, you give these coaching staffs some film, and then all of a sudden they're going to go to work, and it turns the advantage to the defense. That first week, the offense, if the timing is down, the offense has a little bit of an advantage because they're doing things that the other team hasn't had time to prep for. But now with, you heard our kids talking about film and watching film with these huddle programs, there's so much information out there that, these defenses just keep getting better and smarter, and, they have to they can anticipate what's coming at them a lot better.
No question. And for Valley, they had injury at quarterback, and that did not help their offensive prowess. They were shut out tonight. Their starting quarterback, Caleb Jewell, went out at the second play of the second series in the first quarter, out with the leg injury. He was replaced by Trevor Willett, who went out after throwing a pass. I don't know if he came down on his foot wrong, but he took himself out, and then they ended up finishing the game with their third-string quarterback, Stemler, Ethan Stemler, the 5'11 junior, and he ended up throwing the interception, which gave Dowling a 2-score lead at the end. So that's something that Coach Swenson's got to figure out. Valley, a quarterback issue, and it doesn't get any easier for the Tigers. Next week it's at Johnston, who is a top 10 team right now. So Valley at Johnston next Friday night.
Well, and Johnston's going to come in a little bit angry because they're down right now 35-21, the last score I've got.
In Cedar Falls.
Against Cedar Falls, a good Cedar Falls team at Cedar Falls. That game's in the fourth quarter. I don't have an update on the Waukee and Northwest game. That was 17-7 still at the half. And Southeast Polk putting it to Ankeny.
And that was Waukee.
Waukee was ahead,
okay.
Against Northwest. And then Southeast Polk put it to Ankeny, 58-21. Pleasant Valley up 28-14 against the Cedar Rapids Kennedy team from last week. And then the other score, Centennial took it to Ames, 42-6. That is a final. And the last score, I'm running down here, I saw Ottumwa and Roosevelt were tied, the last score I had.
That was at 14.
Yep.
And we'll get you caught up here, or get caught up with that. Again, the final, Dowling 14, Valley nothing. And our thanks to a lot of people, and that includes both coaches. Gary Swenson, I've known Gary for quite a while, ever since he took over, obviously. Been in the business long enough, you get to know the coaches, and we had a nice conversation. Very likes this team. It's got a tough schedule, so they've had a lot thrown at it. They got number one both weeks. Number one Southeast Polk last week, number one Dowling this week. And next week doesn't get any better as they take on fourth-ranked Johnston next Friday out at Johnston. So for Dowling, the Maroons will be here at Valley Stadium. We'll be on the home side. They take on Ankeny next week, third-ranked Ankeny, so it doesn't get any easier for the Maroons. And we'll be here on Iowa Catholic Radio. We'll be simulcasting with CISN.TV next Friday. So, Matt, that means I got to dress up, and so do you, and we're going to be on TV, and all that stuff takes place. But thanks to our sponsors and supporters. They also include Catholic Tuition Organization, Klein Electric, Skeffington's Formal Wear. You know a little bit about that with the weddings you had this year, thanks to Skeffington's. Catholic United Financial, and we appreciate all they do. And, of course, people behind the scenes, including our studio producers tonight. And I'll tell you what, Roman has done a great job. Roman Wilkham and his dad, Matt, are there now. We want to thank Greg Richwine, the engineer for Iowa Catholic Radio, does a super job getting all the transmitters going. And, of course, Brady Grimm, the new guy in town, kind of part-time, taking over from my friend Jimmy Olson. So hats off to all the guys behind the scenes. And, of course, Elisa Hilligus, from the Director of Enrollment, we thank her for being on at halftime, Matt.
Yeah, she did an outstanding job and does great work for us. And this, now we get into this busy part of the season. You have swim dive tomorrow, and we got a cross-country meet going on tomorrow. You also have volleyball, I think, playing at Urbandale, or is the cross-country at Urbandale?
I'll be there. Cross-country at Urbandale. Daughter's running 8 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Volleyball at Valley. And I think out of the 4 or 5 teams, they're all ranked except one, and Dowling is the number one ranked volleyball team this week.
Dowling is the number one ranked volleyball team, and they took it to Valley on Tuesday, so it kind of ends up being a Valley sweep this week, volleyball and football. And the Mary Beth has a great squad, and they are fun to watch.
Yeah, they certainly are, and that'll be a great match tomorrow. Is number one Dowling, third-ranked Ankeny, fourth-ranked Waukee Northwest, eighth-ranked Iowa City Liberty, and 10th-ranked Valley at Valley for the volleyball matches. Waukee is there also, and the Dowling girls and boys cross-country teams will be at Urbandale tomorrow morning. Girls run at 9:10. Boys run at 8:30. So the boys are first at the Urbandale Middle School. I'll be walking across the street for that one, watching my daughter do that. And Coach Gray's not having too bad of a year in boys golf. They have a
hole-in-one today. A young Merrick is the last name. I forget his first name, or maybe that's his first name. I forget. But anyway,
okay,
on the par 3 at Jester, he
Johnny
hits a hole-in-one. Really? A freshman, yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
He's a freshman. That's even better. Well, Ron Gray's having a great year there, and all the sports going. So
I might be a freshman at 82 at some point. I haven't even got close. First, you got to hit the ball right. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Well, John Chidle's made it back. I'm going to give him final count. He just caught his breath. So, Johnny, thanks for everything on the sideline. How did that all turn out? Because this game, you score, and then it's 7-0 until the end of the fourth quarter, and then the Maroons tack on another score. What a defensive game by two teams whose defenses were, inexperienced on the Dowling side, and Valley gave up 24 points to Southeast Polk. It ended up being a defensive game. They came to play tonight.
Yeah, it sure was, and I knew Valley's defense was going to be tough going into this game, and you let a team like Valley stick around, and it could have went either way, and because they were driving down 7-0, the big pass puts them inside the 30-yard line, and then or 35-yard line, and then the big interception
Kruger.
by Jake Kruger.
Yeah.
That was a
and
big difference.
Great job with Kruger and Kenny James. That's those. I knew you'd get two guys on defense. You didn't get a linebacker, you didn't get defensive lineman, but you got the two corners, and they were exposed last week, and they came to play this week.
Yeah, I have to credit Coach Moats and Coach Jack for that, because I asked them, I said, we want to do defensive guys, and
I know we don't have agents in high school, but Johnny's got to go through a middleman.
Yeah.
You can't cut the middleman out, so you got to go through their coach.
I tell you, what I like even more is you guys asking the interview questions. It takes a lot of pressure off of what I'm
Kenny
ask.
Kenny James is just one of those kids that, from his freshman year to his senior year has developed, and he took a leadership class this summer that we offered, and he has just blossomed. He is a great young man, and really is displaying his leadership skills. Became a captain in football, and and he does it in the classroom, does it everywhere. He's a great young man, as is Jake Kruger.
Kenny's something special. I mean, watching him grow from 8th grade to where he's at as a senior, and being a captain and one of the leaders on the team is just credits of what type of personality, a great young man that he is.
Yeah.
It's neat to see.
We mentioned some of the activities going on over the weekend, but on Monday, Labor Day, JV football at Valley High School. Not here at the stadium, at Valley High School. Dowling Valley, 10 a.m. They're going to get underway with the JV game between Dowling and Valley. So it'll be Coach Jimmy Cataldo against the guy sitting next to me here, Coach Tom Bakey, the Valley softball coach, also the sophomore football coach. So might show up on that. It might be a warm day. It's supposed to be in the 90s, really cranking up. And then Tuesday night, the guy right here that he's up here, I got to get him in, because you guys have got me today with all the stuff going on in my life. What do we got? 8th grade football, 5 o'clock at Johnston Middle School. The Dowling 8th grade team, coached by John Chidle and many other coaches, some of the parents in the stands, will play at Johnston. Are you ready, Coach, for Tuesday night?
Well, we'll see. I think we are. Our other coaches think we're in a good spot. It's just we just got to go out and execute it. But
don't give Johnston bulletin board material, okay?
But Johnston's going to be tough. They're the first game they beat us last year, and it was hot, and it's going to be hot again Tuesday, and we expect it's going to be a hard fought game. I hope our kids come ready to play.
Well, best of luck to you. We had to get that in.
I got to get a shout out to our coach, Chris Bagby, our offensive line coach, took over for Casey Shelton, who's now on the varsity, and then Rod Hagan, who we've been together since the beginning. And Rod's my right hand man. I mean, he's awesome. And Coach Skiggs, coaching the defense, and he's basically our co-head coaches, we call it, because he has the defense and I have the offense, and he does a great job. And Doc Zachary and David Zachary, and then Colton Hoots who is new to us this year. So great staff.
All right. Well, you got them all in. That's what we were looking forward to.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Well, guys, we don't have a long trip back from Cedar Rapids like last Saturday night. It's back here for this is the first of 3 games in a row right here at Valley Stadium. So Ankeny Dowling next week. We hope to see you then. Thank you both for your kind comments and gentle comments about the thing that went on with me and being recognized by TV5. Matter of fact, the Friday Night Blitz, they had us mic'd tonight, so that'll be cut up and maybe played back tonight, but next week, Dowling Valley, they'll cut it up.
I hope they have, the first down call when you had the wrong marker there. That was classic. And,
hopefully.
And then Matt saying, no, Mark, that was the first down.
Yeah, that was the first down because there was like third and a mile, and then he got half of it back. My good friend Dave Began, he will cover for me. He will have that on the cutting room floor. But, hey, thanks for everybody to recognizing what Channel 5 did today, recognizing my years, and it's just been a labor of love, Matt. It's been fun. And I said there's been, 3 presidents, 4 ADs, 4 head football coaches, and many people in the booth that have been around. And that has been a labor of love every Friday night. And it all starts back, Johnny remembers this from grade school, the old stadium on 8th Street when half the end zone was part of a track and he had that brick cement there.
I miss that because the fans are right
there
on the field.
So started over there on 8th Street. Here we are on EP True Parkway.
There you go.
So it's been a labor of love. So thanks to everybody for that.
You bet.
But it's been about the school, and I mean that sincerely. We brought things out about the school, and Mrs. Hilligus was our guest today, and she did that. And thanks, Matt, for helping out. And we're on TV next week, so Mr. Tarpey was here saying, hey, you guys are coming next week, right? I said, we're moving down the hallway. We'll dress up.
We'll be on our A game.
There you go. Best of luck, Johnny Tuesday, with the 8th grade team. Matt, thank you.
Good
That'll
luck.
wrap up
Thanks,
our
Mark.
show. Thank you, Matt. Have a safe weekend, everybody. That'll wrap up our broadcast here from the Valley Stadium. And, again, Dowling the winner, 14-0 over Valley. And our thanks to everybody behind the scenes, including head coach Gary Swenson at Valley. 30 years at Valley, 49 years overall. And his staff, and that they did a great job. Brad Rose, Mike Egbert from the Valley Athletic Office helping us get set up. Reminder, next Friday night we'll be on the air at 6:30 as we'll be simulcasting with CISN, 6:30 pregame, third-ranked Ankeny at #1 Dowling Catholic. And it'll be CFL night, so we'll be recognizing all the Catholic Football League teams, and we'll have some interviews from some of their coaches. We have one right here that can help out a little bit with that, so look forward to that. And for Matt Mandring, for John Chiddle, this is Mark Amadeo saying goodnight and so long from Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Our thanks to our studio producer, Roman Wilkham, and his dad, Matt, and, of course, all the folks behind the scenes at Iowa Catholic Radio. For my broadcast team, this is Mark Amadeo wishing you a safe and blessed, faith-filled Labor Day weekend.
Coverage of Dowling Catholic sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, Klein Electric, Catholic United Financial, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Bozen the Florist. Please support the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The preceding has been a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.